the state where they recognized it was in everybody's best interest to move forward, hit a reset button, everybody get along, something the region had not experienced ever, and maybe have a 1,000-year peace. And just the opposite of a lot of narratives that have been out there about him. And that kind of frustrated him, and it frustrated me. And so he talked.
I never wish anybody to be dead, but I'm glad that the evil he was committing while he was on this planet is no longer being committed. And it's just that simple. So, here's his one. Yes, big news coming up. Big guest next hour at 4. We're going to see 9 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 7 o'clock hours.
Hey, how we doing, guys?
Put my dad in our ears.
And then all the developments there, we're going wide hot.
We got to figure out
and so much more. But here he is.
I think it will. I was trying it out a little bit
back a
while ago. But
2 years ago, right before Trump got back,
I just
they
saw him get a little
overthrew.
mad at the
Finally, after 16 years,
no,
trying
we'll
the
be
Syrian
fine on
government.
his end. So worst
wasn't
case
perfect
scenario,
compared to
if
these
this
guys, they're
starts
angels.
messing up or anything in
All the Muslim
stream,
minority,
guys,
Christian
go
minorities
ahead
are in total
and
peace.
we'll
Christmas
keep the comment
trees,
section open too.
churches,
There's no reason why
some of the oldest Christian churches in the world, and they're all been blown up or killed now. And the
Got
Muslims
Damon.
run around killing everybody. I can show you
Damon,
hours
how are
of
you
video
doing
of
tonight?
the
We
Oh,
actually,
you can
running around killing
hear
everybody.
Alex?
Leader of the country, he's the former global head of
Really?
Al Qaeda, and we're told he's a good guy. We should just support him.
uh-oh.
So I mean, I just sit there and watch.
Yeah, I'll mute that.
Yeah, tell us now if you can hear him. Thank you for
involved.
that.
Wait,
John
wait,
McCain, I'm
you-
just supposed to
can you
forget
hear
about that,
both
not
at
know
the
that.
same
Sorry, I'm too
time or
informed.
no?
I am way too informed.
Let us know if you
to
can
go
hear us
along with
both
that
at the same
garbage.
time, because he's gonna say something,
But the Russians
and then we're gonna have to say something.
told
Oh, because we're talking over each other. Is that what's
the
happening?
U.S. and
here,
NATO
guys?
countries back on
You
May
can hear us both at
25th,
the same time.
a month and a half ago, they said we're going to start
Yeah,
hitting
Mazel tov.
all of the diplomatic hotels,
Hear us? Can you
military
let us know
bases,
something
government
useful?
centers,
Here,
the
Alex,
places
I'm
your people
gonna.
are at,
Okay, so
running
they
the
can hear
weapons.
Alex.
The
That's
U.S.
because we have the audio
NATO
shared
doesn't
there.
even-
But if I mute now, you guys should be only able to hear us. I think if we do the back and forth, it'll be totally fine.
Rex, here's the thing. I like Rex and I like Tim, but they're not professional, and it's a real problem. You know, we're trying to be the change we create in the world, and they're just not doing it.
Well, I think it'll go.
I think it'll be fine. In the worst case scenario, if the stream doesn't work, then it's still going to be on AJN Live. So
He says he can hear us and him at the same time.
okay, then that's fine.
That's totally
I have it muted right now on the screen audio, but super exciting to be able to do this. Last time we did it, we were in the InfoWars.
Oh, we did it IRL.
IRL.
We did it with him in the aquarium.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, that was the origin of where it all started, because from there, that's what allowed us to do the American Journal.
Is that really how it went?
That's exactly how it went.
I got my memory twisted
Yeah.
though, because I thought that was at the end.
So what?
The beginning.
So what ended up happening, guys, is we went on live with his dad. Tom, what is it? Tommy Robinson? Yes,
He was also
he was there, but your dad wanted to take off with him a little bit early, so we hosted that last hour.
Oh, you're right. I totally forgot
So
about that.
we
Yeah.
knocked it out of the park. We
Yeah.
did well, and then the producers came up to us afterwards and they said, "Hey, Brianna's leaving.
Exactly.
What do you guys think about hosting the American Journal?" And you didn't have to tell us twice.
Big memory on you, dude. I forgot that. I thought that was at the end, and not at the
Mhm.
beginning. Now that I think back, you're 100% correct. So
Say audio is kind of muffled.
muffled,
Oh, Lord.
muffled.
I
We're at
love
the top there, though. The top of the thing.
Here, I'm gonna see what mic settings.
You can turn the mic volume up.
Yeah.
Automatically adjust mic volume.
Okay, how about that, guys? Testing.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I'll even just throw on.
Call Regis now.
As I said, worst case scenario, we'll end up having you guys just watch it on. Okay, much
So
better.
it's better.
All right, cool, perfect.
Let's go. You cool if we can audio log my dad and just talk over?
Oh, we would be so cooked. Okay, so we don't really know exactly what we're going to be talking about with him today. There's a wide range of things that have occurred in the news
You
cycle.
still hear us in
Really?
We can still, Abraham, we can still hear him.
I mean, I've muted Alec.
Yeah.
I've muted the audio coming from.
My dad is muted.
It's okay. Once we unmute
yeah.
it. Yeah, once we.
His co-host, Tim Tompkins, very smart guy with the Gray Area show. He'll be joining us coming up. They've also filled into the American Journal, my show, and more. We're going to be talking about all this and more, the midterms, the SAVE Act, the big fight at the Supreme Court. They've got the knives out on each other. It's all coming up.
All
But
right.
before we do that, ladies and gentlemen, bottom line, this broadcast is amplified by you.
He's just doing a plug right now. No, fingers crossed that this works. I think it will. But why don't we just talk a little bit about what we think we might be discussing?
Lindsey Graham, that's number one.
Yeah, was not expecting that. Long live
Long live the Queen. I shouldn't. All right. More jokes. I've well exceeded the quota. It's.
I asked him before we went on. I said, "Is it all right for us to keep making bubble wand jokes?"
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's gonna be a moratorium on that.
Yeah, I think we're not allowed to add them to the starting file of the Avengers anymore. So,
Well, you gotta take some time with it.
hey, we still have.
People still rip on John McCain.
Okay.
So
I
I mean,
you got to give it some time. Too soon. It's too soon.
definitely too soon.
100%.
But at the same time, he like celebrates the murder of others, right? And I get the whole thing is to be moral. You have to take the high road. I do get that. I hope that God has
Move the mic up closer.
Yeah,
to
you're
your
right.
mouth. That's why.
How's this? Do we sound better or getting complaints?
Tell Unc Alex Nimrod says hi.
Your audio sounds like you're underwater.
That's probably because we have this feed going on at the same time, and we're talking over the Zoom call. It's just it is what it is.
No, it won't sound bad to him.
No, we won't sound bad.
All right, that's fine.
So people on the network side will be fine. Hey, we got to do the best what we got.
No
guys.
gaslighting. Don't gaslight me. No gaslighting on audio.
He says it's underwater for you. Maybe it's because you're too far away from the microphone. Because I'm going directly in.
We need to stand.
Tighten your bolt there.
Test.
Okay.
How does that sound?
No, it's gonna be guys. It's gonna be slightly off. I'm gonna show you guys. It sounded good when you were close
Okay,
to the mic,
yeah.
so it's too far away.
All right.
I have it right up on
Yeah,
the mouth.
I get you. I didn't even realize that. It's here the whole time.
Okay, they said perfect now. Okay, so it's just distance away from your mic. Yeah, so they'll probably do they'll do a break. What is that? Normally like a
Like
5 minutes,
Yeah.
and then we'll go on.
But if you report to Google Doc, maybe up there I can kind of do a little rundown of what we have. It'll be. So we got Lindsey Graham dead. We got a whole roundup to do after we're off the show with them because of course they're going to be showing us their material. We got a phenomenal post from Mike Adams that I did want to read. I've got some haunting statements from Lindsey. He's like saying time is running out for them. It's like, well, bro, time ran out for you. So we got a bunch of that. We got war news, Iran war totally back on, CENTCOM confirming more strikes, the Iranians claiming they've killed American soldiers. We got a lot more on that front. We scroll down really quick.
Yeah.
Over here. Even further, if you would. I've got a crazy article from Haaretz, which is like Israeli New York Times, calling Lindsey Graham like the greatest mouthpiece for Israel, basically. And like, what are we going to do now that he's gone? So that's a pretty crazy article. And then, of course, we've got Ro Khanna, who you guys may remember from Thomas Massey and Epstein files, right? And he was detained by not even just the IDF, Palestinians, or not Palestinian, Israeli settlers, right? And then the IDF came and also detained them at gunpoint. So that's pretty crazy. We got a lot more on that front. And then we got Iran's further warnings to the Gulf states. This is going to be fun.
I'm going to ask her, just let us know.
Are we going to need to unmute him?
We are ready. No, I never muted them. She just has us off the feed here.
No, I'm talking about I've got
a
StreamYard. Right?
I've got to unmute this here, but
gotcha.
Yeah. And then today's deep dive, we are going to do a deep dive.
What's on?
It is going to be on our food. I was really thinking heavy about it and nutritions and stuff like that. And what's the real reason why RFK has not been able to succeed?
Great topic.
With his, I think it's called Maha. Yeah, it's Maha.
Yeah, make America healthy
again. Like, because I've barely seen any traction. So
yeah,
I had to do a deep dive on that. I had to figure out what is really going on, and a lot of the lies that are going on with the food. I mean, dude, we're probably actually like we are number one in terms of unhealthiest in the entire world in terms of our food.
100%.
It's crazy. So
they got to play a report for the first 5 minutes. They have to. I think that they are going to do that.
Okay, so people are saying it's probably Alex is coming in like probably in the next like 5 minutes or so, less than that. They're on a break right now. So what they'll do is they'll introduce us. Okay.
All
right.
I don't know.
I'm just going to pull it up and I'm going to put us on here. And I'm just going to go full screen with it. We'll see how it goes.
All right.
Yeah. Zoom. Yeah.
All right. I'll keep your chair right next to mine. A bit more. A bit more. A bit more. A bit more. Good. All right, that's fine. That'll be fine. I told you. All right. All right, take us back in. He's doing the first 5? Okay.
Huckabee has said it's incredible. Then you got him primarying and PNAC called for terror attacks to get us.
You guys can hear Alex, right?
Israel's not calling for a new 9/11 to get us on board. You've got the AIPAC running around primarying our people, saying that they control our domestic politics. Israel is a bigger threat now to China when it comes to basically a palace coup inside our government. And I warned of this for months. Trump's finally saying, you're not the boss. Israel's not in control. Snubbed Netanyahu at the NATO summit last week in Europe, in Turkey.
Yeah.
He's been criticizing him. That's good. That's why we put pressure. The neocons wanted to say, you're all traitors. You're not MAGA. Go away. All us never Trumpers. We're the bosses. And I said, no, I'm not doing that. I'm mad at Trump. I just give up and walk away with my ball, like so much the opposition said, who's really controlled. Oh, I see through all of this crap. So here's Netanyahu slipping in like he's ever. Oh, don't worry, we don't need your money anymore because under this bill.
By the way, guys, if anything messes up live, we're going to be cutting this feed, and you can go find it at HAN Live.
Yes.
But if it's not, we'll be on here. Everything will go like normal. If not, then we'll start the stream after we're done with Alex.
This is a special edition. We're usually live at 7:30 p.m. to 10:30 on Sunday, and then 7:30 to 9:30 Thursday, as well as Tuesday morning. We're live from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. along with every other weekday morning as well. I do in the American Journal. Yep.
It's disgusting. Here's Netanyahu.
100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%
and this is something it's hard to believe, but we were receiving American support, military aid. And, we've done this through successive presidents. We did it with, the first one was with Clinton, and then it was with Obama, and then with Trump, sort of a 10-year MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, where America gives Israel much valued support. Now, when I did this, when I negotiated this, I said, okay, this is what we need. We don't need any more. He said, yes, you do. I said, Lindsay, we don't need any more. And he would tell me, no, I'm going to go over your head to the Senate because I think you need more on missile defense or whatever, okay? And I think once or twice he got his way. But let me tell you, the last conversation I had with him, I said, Lindsay, we've come of age. We have a robust economy. We can take care of our own financing our own weapons for the defense of Israel and defense of our common interests with America. So I'm going to phase out the support,
laws that if you criticize
military
Israel, you can't
support
get a state
for Israel
contract to build a highway or
over
porta potty or
a period of years,
clean government buildings. This is sick, folks. Israel's taking over.
And he went
It's fact.
ballistic. He said, no way, you can't do that, because he was so concerned with our security, which he believed was your security, that he actually fought the Prime Minister of Israel on keeping America's aid or actually increasing it. And that tells you what kind of a person
more because we own your military as soon as this bill passes. Total coup, total treason. Back in 60 seconds with the gray area talks. Rex Jones and Tim Tompkins. Stay with us.
You like a honey badger today. He's very, very aggressive, I can tell. So
Gotcha.
be sure to let him talk, bro, because he's going to interrupt us a lot.
Gotcha.
Look, we're not even going to get into that yet. There's a big topic I got to cover.
He's going to have.
Hey, Rex.
Yeah?
Rex, they send you a live show feed to share?
Yep, we got everything we need.
So they did send it to you?
A live show what now?
Did they send you a live show feed?
We're just on the Zoom right
We're
now.
on the Zoom right now.
Which
No, I mean, did they send you a live show feed to share?
no.
All right, yeah, it's critical. Yeah, go ahead, Daria. Oh, it's fine. I just sent it to him. I understand. I'll do it myself from now on. It's not a problem. I understand we're not going to do it. Did you just see the feed I just sent you to share on your X?
Right now. I'm pulling it up right now.
That's a pet peeve I've got. So just send it out, okay?
I understand.
Nothing to do with you. Just a thing we don't do. All right, you ready? You got that?
I don't see it in my DMs, Dad.
I'll just keep sending it. Don't rebroadcast for a while. We'll figure it out. Air a promo. We're going to do this. We're going to do this with all the guests.
Dude. Bro. I guess we're just going to say we.
In the festering heart of the D.C. swamp, where loyalty to foreign powers trumps fidelity to the American people, Senator Mitch McConnell's condition remains shrouded in secrecy following his June 14th hospitalization after being found unconscious.
Desiree Townsend here again outside of George Washington University Hospital as we mark week 3 of the hospitalization of Senator Mitch McConnell following the June 14th medical emergency. As you can see behind me, the Capitol Hill police vehicles, these black vehicles, are still parked outside the hospital here, an indication that he is likely also still here.
Weeks later, no verifiable proof of life has emerged from this 84-year-old fixture of uniparty establishment obstruction. Yet his office clings to vague claims of recovery while he still blocks key legislation like the Save America Act, supported by a huge majority of the country. McConnell's wife, Elaine Chao, who jetted...
Reposted the stream shared. He wants it done the proper way. So I'm just trying to abide by that.
Figures, including Vice President Han Zhang, is a private citizen with no government role.
Hey,
Chao's
you guys are not supposed to see that.
Oh man,
Guys, raise
All good. All good.
Logan Act
We love you
questions and national security alarms. Why abandon
That's
a
what I'm saying.
critically
Almost
ill
not
husband for
trying to do
CCP
that,
powwows
but the way
unless
it's working
orders
now,
from
it's not
headquarters
traditional
demanded
way.
it?
So his wife, Elaine Chao, was found in China
The audio sounds
3
like
days
dog
after
shit.
he
We're
went
doing
into
the best we can.
cardiac arrest. So we're trying to figure out where she is. It doesn't look like she has come back to the house. So I was wondering, have you seen her at all?
I haven't seen anyone.
The rabbit hole deepens with the eerie 2024 drowning of Chow's billionaire sister Angela in a Tesla that reportedly locked and reversed into a lake. Another accident amid whispers of family leverage and silencing. McConnell, long derided as China Mitch, props up a Senate machine terrified of a pre-August 3rd vacancy, which would trigger a special election that could empower outsiders like Thomas Massey to seize the reins. The plan is blatant and equally seditious.
The likelihood that Senator McConnell is on life support in some way, shape, or form is actually supported by multiple studies, which puts the 30-day survival rate of an 80-year-old after an out-of-hospital cardiac arrest. Now, mind you, found at his home at less than 5%. Now, you need to understand who they are. See, Senator Mitch McConnell has a lot of enemies.
Yeah.
He is not well liked by people on both sides of the aisle. In fact, the lack of disclosed health information and him potentially still being on the hospital on life support has actually united this country in shared outrage. Republicans want him removed because he kept blocking the SAFE Act. Democrats don't like him because he previously stacked the Supreme Court. And it doesn't appear as if he had much support from President Trump either, based on past social remarks. So with that in mind, they really is just one person, his wife. And largely, this is also based on the law. It's very likely he had either an advance directive or a living will. Even without either one of these legal documents, nearly all of end-of-life decisions typically fall on the spouse in almost every state. So when everyone says there is really only one person in my mind, and that is Elaine Chao.
Drag the turtle shell past the deadline, and the Uniparty preserves its safe seat while unelected staffers wield Mitch's vote, as we have already seen with other debilitated absent members of Congress. J.D. Vance, as Senate President, and the State Department owe the public immediate transparency. Is McConnell alive, vegetative, or already gone? D.C.'s rot is so pungent, even Honolulu catches a whiff. John Bound reporting for the Alex Jones Network at alexjoneslive.com.
The globalists are collapsing worldwide.
All right, let's go
They're
back
fighting
live
back
right now. Let's shut off that. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So here we are on Sunday night. It is the 12th day of July, 2026. I am your host, Alex Jones. And we have the Iran war back in full scale. It never ended. And then Trump saying, I'm going to obliterate you. No, I'm not. Obliterate you. Not. They closed the strait again. What a disaster. Then, meanwhile, did Russia just eliminate warmonger Lindsey Graham in Kiev? The U.S. senator who famously called for killing Russians the best investment was ever made, close quote, has died at 71 following a sudden illness right after his trip to Ukraine. Even though yesterday morning and afternoon, he's there in a hotel that's blown up, not just also at the drone secrets factory. The 48-hour death timeline is too wild to ignore. Number one, Graham meets Zelensky and tours a hidden drone manufacturing facility in Kiev. 2 hours later, the Russian MOD launches a devastating missile attack, completely obliterating the exact factory. Number 3, simultaneously, Russian precision missiles leveled a high-profile hotel in Kiev, packed with top NATO commanders, where Graham was reportedly staying. Number 4, Graham instantly dies suddenly right after returning home. Did Russia strike, catch him in the drone factory or the NATO hotel, or did someone in Washington send him there knowing the missiles were coming, or did he actually make it back magically and die last night? I know I had him on about other subjects, the midterms and, what's happening and Charlie Kirk and the trial. We'll get to that with these guys. We'll have them back soon. But for the balance of the hour, we're joined by Rex Jones and Tim Tompkins. You can find them at Gray Area Talks on X, at Gray Area Talks on YouTube, Gray Area Talks right now. And they've also co-hosted the American Journal, my show, and other shows before. And they're here in Central Texas as well, north of Austin, joining us from their studio at the Gray Area Studios. All right, guys, let's tackle the geopolitical situation first. Rex and Tim, what do you make? What's your gut tell you with all this on Lindsey Graham? I mean, it's a really good chance. I'm not saying probability, but that he was killed in Russia, either at the base, probably not at the factory. He got out of that and talked about it, and then did some interviews, went to his hotel, and we're told he gets back and dies in D.C. Rex, Tim, what do you think?
Well, it's rumored they hit the hotel. It's definitely, I think it's basically confirmed that they hit that arms depot, the drone factory where he was at, and it's just too short of a timeline. But irregardless, Tim, we talk about it all the time. He's getting his wish. He's getting his Iwo Jima. We're going back to war. So I think that's really the main topic right now. CENTCOM just came out and said the reports of those 3 dead soldiers is not true. Again, but is that true? So yeah, I don't know. We're just in a fog of war right now.
Also, I think you were just telling me the reports are saying something about a heart attack or something here domestically.
His aorta.
And both of us sat here and we were like, there's no possible way that could have been the case. I mean, he was literally in Ukraine like 48 hours
yesterday.
And how long is that flight? It's not short.
No,
it's definitely at least an 8-hour flight just to get
Well,
over.
he dies late last night and they already know how he died. All that's suspicious.
Right.
That's what you're saying, I think.
Right. And I think the fact that, of course, he is, like, as we know this, it's very probable he's a gay man. He doesn't have a wife, doesn't have kids. There's not really anyone to speak for him. Whereas, at least, with Mitch McConnell, the turtle, you have his wife that flees to China to do the corrupt business deal. Right. So, you can kind of tie something to that there. And then she kind of has to make a statement or whatever. But with him, it's just kind of this void.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. And again, we just played a special report because I was going to go there with you. I mean, they're clearly trying to wait until August 3rd so the governor can appoint the new senator and not have a special election.
Right.
Because polls show that Massey's even more popular in a statewide election.
Right. No, I think that's absolutely true. And I think if you look at what happened with Lindsay, I think we were all very depressed to see Mark Lynch, who I think was a phenomenal candidate, unfortunately not be able to get over the finish line there. I think we're going to see a lot of really corrupt party politics.
Yeah, they're going to put somebody a puppet head.
Yep.
It's no longer going to be who the people want. They'll put in somebody who's just going to be pro whatever the I guess our regime wants to do right now. So yeah, 100%.
And that's Kentucky. You're predicting they'll claim, even if Mitch McConnell's brain dead or dead as they're reporting, in 3 weeks they won't show him, that they're going to wait till August 3rd to appoint somebody. What about Graham? He just won re-election. We've got 6 years. They're going to have an election there.
When I found that out, I think it was actually Mimi, Dad. It was your mom. It was Grandma that told me that he got 6 years instead of 4. And I had that moment where I had like a spit take. I was like, what? Like if I had been drinking some water, I wouldn't have been able to keep it in because I was just so shocked. I was like, how can this be true? How can we get 6 more years of Lindsey Graham? I guess, God had some mercy on us in that regard, and we don't. But the next person could be even worse.
100%. 100%. I mean, look, they do it all the time. So you saw Thomas Massey.
Yep.
I thought he was going to win. I think everybody thought he was going to win.
Gowron comes on in.
And you just have to spend a lot more money. And then I don't really know how the proceedings go for that when somebody has to get put in place.
It's all
when somebody dies, right?
If the person has won, isn't it the party and they basically decide, or how does that work? Is there another primary?
Are you talking about Kentucky? Or are you talking about the Senate?
Talking about the Senate. Talking about Lindsey Graham.
Yeah, there's 2 Senate races that are going to come up. They're either going to wait till the 3rd and the governor will appoint for what's left of McConnell's term. It's not long. Or senators serve 6 years, House members serve 2.
Right.
And so they will have to have a new special election for Graham. There's no way they can get away with that.
Right.
Now they're going to appoint an interim senator before the special election.
Right. Do you think it's more likely that it was the Russians that got him, or could it have been another foreign actor? Like, could there be incentive? I know Dugan was posting about this today. I read it and I was like, what? He was kind of pointing towards Israel. What do you think about that?
I mean, I know Zelensky has been killing a lot of the Ukrainian mafia that worked for him, but that was keeping too much of the money. Morocco and other places, they've been blowing people up, and Interpol's saying it's Zelensky doing it. And we know that, it's funny you say that, Larry Johnson, former CIA case guy, very respected, very smart. He said months ago it's going to come out that Graham is about to be indicted, massive money laundering, reportedly hundreds of millions of dollars that he got from Ukraine, and that look for that. And so it would be opportune to get rid of him and say the Russians did it. But I don't think it's going to be a false flag raining missiles down on Kiev, on this base, on this hotel, and over 100 missiles. I don't think that they're going to kill him under the cover of that and then know when the Russians are going to launch that attack. So, no, I don't think there's a very high chance or even low chance that if he was killed in Ukraine, that it wasn't the Russians. Though, I mean, obviously, people are politically going to spin that. But if he was killed in Russia, Trump wants peace. So I would imagine they would dial it down and then come up with this cover story that he died of cardiac arrest shortly after getting back from Ukraine last night.
Well,
So it's all speculation right now.
Yeah, that is the interesting thing, though, is you have to look at Zelensky and what his motivations are. I mean, the restaurant's about to close. You know, it's about to be over. They're going to keep pounding Kiev. They're going to keep escalating in response to the Ukrainian escalation, targeting the oil depots deep inside of Russia and Moscow. I mean, remember when we were like 2 minutes from midnight in 2024 or 2025 when they targeted the nuclear triad? I'm forgetting the exact date. Things have only basically escalated.
Yeah.
Since then.
I mean, they've only escalated, but I just can't wrap my head around like the motive for why he was killed. It wasn't like he was the champion or the main guy that was like supplying the weapons to Ukraine. I mean, he's definitely instrumental in some.
Oh, he loves it though.
But he loves it. I know. I saw him.
Blumenthal.
I saw him as a participant, not necessarily the guy who's the spearhead leading the charge of what's happening over there.
This is one of the main problems with Graham. I'm forgetting what the exact act is called. He's not allowed to go over there and do that. He's not allowed as a U.S. senator to go do foreign policy. So he's in violation of the law.
That's why he probably had to ride the train and take the plane, which is impossible for him to get back and die in the U.S. last night, as Sean Hannity said. So if he did come back conventionally on his own dime, then there's no way the timeline works. He did die over there. But I mean, here's the deal. I kind of disagree with that statement, Tim. Lindsey Graham is the heir apparent to John McCain. He was the mini-me of him with the State Department and the NGO money that's put through the Senate to them to manage that. That came out in the Doge hearings. We already knew it, but billions to Al-Qaeda, billions to the Taliban, billions to ISIS, and even a Senate hearing I played last hour. I have a lot of this tomorrow doing that. So he's been one of the main war hawks, and I got some clips of that coming up. And so things that he pushes for in his last speech he gave in Kiev yesterday morning and his last TV interview was full war with Iran, total commitment, and massive sanctions on Russia and total war to end the war. But to say that your point about why would they want to target him and piss off the U.S., they're going to blow up missile bases and diplomatic hotels. They said that. And Russia on May 25th put out a warning specifically to the West saying, get your diplomats and your politicians out because they're not going to be safe after this. We're going to start hitting facilities that they're in. Overhead shot, please. This is a BBC, May 25th. Russia threatens more Kiev strikes, which they followed through, and tells foreign nationals, it goes into diplomatic corps and NATO operatives to leave. In fact, I want to pull up a headline that actually has that. Just type in Russia there it is. Russia threatens more Kiev strikes. Yeah, no, I want the one because I'm not going to read the whole article. We'll deny it. Russia specifically in their actual statement warned the U.S. and NATO to pull its diplomatic corps and its NATO personnel out. So the headline is Russia warns U.S. and NATO/EU to pull all diplomatic and military advisors and personnel out. So they specifically let them know, and they've also said now that they are the targets and that they'll start hitting NATO countries, including Poland, where the weapons are being produced en masse. What do you guys, Rex and Tim, make of that?
Okay, so on the first half of that, the Russians were threatening that very early on in the conflict. I mean, even when Biden was in, we said, okay, well, if you give them long-range missiles, we're going to do X, Y, and Z. And I think it's definitely a paper tiger because they know they have to contain that within the region. If this spreads out to NATO, I mean, Russia's it's a gone case because right now it's kind of like they're still holding an arm back. It's not necessarily like we're fully involved in that conflict. We're just providing.
I disagree with that statement. I mean,
think they are going to go?
This is the great thing about our show, right? Is like we don't agree on everything. That's why it's called the gray area. So you're saying you think that the Russians have a real problem if we got fully involved?
I think they're bluffing is what I'm saying.
I mean, I think we're the ones that are bluffing. I think we're the ones that have been fully involved for like 3-4 years now, even before that. I mean, look at the entire premise of the war was that we were going to degrade Russia's military, their munitions. We're going to get rid of their missiles. Look at us. Look at our stockpiles, not just in Ukraine, but in Iran. So
I played the clip last hour. Graham even says, the Ukrainians will fight to the last Ukrainian. In fact, did I even get to that clip? I know I sent you so many guys. Just type it in. We'll pull it up again. Senator Graham, the Ukrainians will fight to the last Ukrainian. He says, as long as we give them weapons, they'll fight to the last Ukrainian. He actually said it. What do you guys make of that, Tim?
Do you know the irony of that? It's like, well, who said that? Did the Ukrainian people say that, or did the politicians and the people who are making the decisions say?
Oh, you don't get a choice.
So, I mean, if the last man is you get wrapped up in a van, just like the rest of them, you get kidnapped and thrown to the front line, I guess that is the last man.
Right.
And you're talking about the insane footage of the conscription over there.
Yeah.
Did you see over the weekend where all over the country the Ukrainians are rising up and beating up the conscriptors?
Yeah, I saw some lady tear the door off a car. I saw some other awesome stuff like that. And the people ultimately are the ones that should decide. And they want the war to be over. Zelensky hasn't had elections. Okay, he's a dictator by definition.
Well, that's the first time I've seen big groups of people rising up, beating up the Ukrainian military. That doesn't sound good for Zelensky.
Well, just think about the fundamentals. Like, the average Ukrainian just wants to live a normal life. They have been in war for the last 5 years. None of what they have decided has been of their own volition. It's basically Zelensky and the rest of the world and whoever has their own special interest that have decided how this war is going to go. So imagine you having constant threat of potentially a missile being thrown at you. And not even just that. Think about the fact that Ukraine is escalating it even more than they should have by doing the direct attacks on Moscow.
And add on to that the prospect of your countrymen maybe not wanting the war, but then the EU and America, these nations with all the money and the power and the influence, they're the ones that are saying, hey, we're going to give your government what it needs to send you off to go die. That's pretty dark stuff. And I think that's really what we got to be accountable for here in the West, is the prospect that we don't actually have to fight in any of these wars. We're making other people do that by proxy.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys make of the Iran war being back to full tilt? I mean, it never ended.
I mean, it's always been on.
Hey,
Tim's been saying it. Just
dude,
go ahead. Just go.
I mean, for the last 3 months, you know, he tells me a report, or I see a report where and they say, oh, new peace deal coming.
MOU.
I say, look, boy who cries wolf. I said, this is going to keep going on. I wouldn't be surprised if it ended through the rest of the year. Because at the end of the day, you can't trust what's coming out of the media. You can't trust what Trump is saying. There is a split, even in the Iranian government right now, in which they can't even agree on what they want to do. There is a side that wants to keep showing and make sure that the United States actually fully submits to whatever they want. And then there's another fraction that's like, hey, maybe we should take this as is. And then you've got the third part of the equation. As long as Israel is able to do whatever they want to do, and we don't actually have a tight leash on that, this is not going to end. There's no way I can see this ending.
And I think it's also key to point out the schizophrenia of Trump as well. You can go watch the G7 conference where it was Trump and then J.D. Vance later on making the statements about Lebanon, making the statements about we got 4 weeks left until we hit tank bottom and we can't do this. We got to call a close to this. Essentially, we got to pull the curtain. Cut to now. Oh, we got to take care of them. I got to know them. They're nasty people. It's time. And we've just learned that you can't rely on Donald Trump. You have to rely on the factors at play, and the factors at play are that Israel wants this war. So they're going to get it.
100%.
You're absolutely right. It's just a total disaster. And then you have the Strait of Hormuz closed with up to 30% of the oil. And
well, can I come in there really quick? Paragraph 1 or Article 1 and then Article 5 of the MOU are key. Paragraph 1, of course, mentions Lebanon 3 times, an immediate end to all conflict and or hostility in Lebanon, right? And the other areas of the war. And then paragraph 5, Article 5 says, hey, Iran alongside Oman is going to dictate passage through the strait. So we violated those two parts of the MOU. That's how we ended up in the situation we're at today. We can say, sure, the Iranians hit that boat and they shouldn't have hit that boat. That boat was going through not just unverified, uncharted waters as well. I talked to Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Aguilar about this Green Beret. He broke it down for me. Not only are we telling ships to go in this one way that's not approved, it's literally unapproved for maritime traffic, and they could crash and cause an ecological disaster.
They've already had a bunch of them run aground, so they're running the deal. But here's the larger issue. None of these are agreements. They create frameworks of negotiation.
Right.
Iran points that out, and then Israel breaks it, hits Lebanon, hits Iran, whatever. And I'm not trying to side with the mullahs, it's just a fact. And then Trump says it's a deal, and then we don't follow out on the side of the deal. So it's a stalemate, and I predict the Iranians will just keep the strait closed. This is going to drag on for years. And it's going to be absolutely, already is, devastating the economy. But let's come back and talk about that. And also Lindsey Graham's last statements in a speech he gave and in an interview are very telling, because it tells you what the neocons and the Israel firsters want, and probably what Trump's going to do, because he'll rhetorically criticize them, but usually side with them. But here's a brief clip, as I mentioned it, of Lindsey Graham, talking about, as long as you give them the weapons, they'll fight to the last Ukrainian. Here's a clip.
I like the structural path we're on here. As long as we help Ukraine with the weapons they need and the economic support, they will fight to the last person.
Well, they're not going to fight to the last Lindsey Graham because he's dead now. Did he die in D.C. of a heart attack? Or did he die in Ukraine? If he didn't have a diplomatic flight, he died over there. There's no way he got back. He was still over there at noon yesterday, died at like 10:30 at night. No way he got back. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Dude, these stress me out. Like, I'll tell you guys, I'll just be straight up because we're like real over here. Like being live with my dad stresses me out like nothing else. I got to keep it 100. Like, Tim, however you feel about it, I feel like I am just like,
I'm chilling right now. Maybe at the first like minute, but then I adjusted and I'm like, okay, it's just a normal.
Yeah, sure.
But you've got
bro,
history.
just the office mannerisms,
Your dad.
dude. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
it's crazy. But yeah, we appreciate all you guys. We got a big news day as well. We're going to cover this plus the Ro Khanna scandal. Of course, he was detained by settlers and then by the IDF as well. Completely outrageous. People are like, I don't like him. He's Indian. That's U.S. congressman. He represents you, by the way. And they pointed a gun at him. And then you're like, well, I don't like third worlders. You're like, all right. Just you go live over in Israel then. Like that's my opinion on that. We're going to cover that. We got, of course, the RFK Jr. food deep dive. That is going to be really key. That Tim is going to do as well. We do a good show, guys. Y'all should be here.
100%.
Thursday, Sunday.
He said,
thank you for shilling our channel. We
appreciate you.
Amazing. Please,
Pain Train. We appreciate you.
Yeah. 1980s Pain Train. Pain Train.
Has Fishback not been on his show?
No, he's not been on his show.
Okay.
I think the thing with Fishback is that everyone has Fishback on, and my dad is like, I don't know, he doesn't want to like ride a wave or anything like that. You'll notice my dad has like specific guests on and stuff. Yeah. I've had Fishback on the network. We've had Fishback on the network. He's not. People like Stu Peters, who I'm going to have on the network at some point soon. Like whenever I next guest host, people are like, "You afraid to have Stu Peters on?" It's like I guest host when they ask me to. Yeah. Okay, I don't get to go.
Harrison, move aside. Yeah, it's my time.
Good grief! And even if I could do that, I wouldn't do that because I'm not a dickhead. And y'all are like, if I was Alex Jones' son, I would go have a show at InfoWars. And I'm like, okay, well, you're not though. So like that's kind of the key distinction, right?
No, 100%, dude. This is so how's the audio, guys, for you in the chat? I think it's been going well.
They would tell us.
Yeah, I think it's been going well. You guys have been able to follow, no echoes or anything like that.
I've been listening to Dave Blunt's, a lot of Dave Blunt's.
I've only caught like maybe a couple of clips of his. I don't really watch him that much.
Some Kanye too, dude. The World War III album's pretty good. Been enjoying that. And then the Virgil Let Me Down song is so good. I listened to that like 100 times. Do you think we want to bring up any of the Sneeko stuff, or we just let it ride whoever his agenda? Yeah. Do you want the clip or not? If you want the clip, if you don't want the clip,
we need the clip though, low key.
Yeah,
he dodged. He blocked both of us. Like, come on, brother.
Actually, that's
come on, brother.
Point. He did block both.
I think we need to start there.
Yeah,
I think we need to start there.
All right. Well,
it's not even like I want to drag his name into the ground or something like that.
When he asks a question, I'm going to give a super,
I'll let you pivot.
I'll give a super brief answer, and then I'll say, and me and Tim were talking about this, and we want to get you because your clips are crazy. We'll do that.
Okay.
This is how the show works, by the way. This is how it goes down. Talking in between breaks, trying to figure out what you're going to bring up next, what you want to cover.
There's no agenda.
No agenda. Just trying to keep it real.
100%. Okay. Oh yeah, they have the feed muted on their end. Okay.
All right. If you had sexual intercourse with Dave Blunt, you'd be dead. You wouldn't be in the chat lying about it. You'd be crushed to death. You would no longer exist. He weighs like 1,800 pounds.
Gosh. Let's read a little bit of the chat here.
Yeah, I haven't seen Fishback on Fresh and Fit. I'll have to check that out.
I haven't either. You know what I'm realizing though? It's a small little world, bro. Like everyone has each other on. It's like the same 50 people cycling through most of the stuff.
Here we go.
Fourth turning's coming to an end. All the countries are maxed out debt-wise. Every time that happens in the 80-something year cycle, there's a big war. Elon Musk has talked about it. I've talked about it. And you've got the EU saying their answer is total war with Russia. You got us being dragged into it. You got Israel back against the wall, super unpopular in all the polls, less than 20%. Their answer is get us committed to a full war. And if we don't like it, they'll just take over through the defense bill. And it passed out of 2 committees and down the full House. I mean, you just cannot make this up. You cannot make this up. $1.3 billion by Israel for domestic propaganda against the American people. And they've now sucked us into a full war, and it is a spectacular disaster. I'm interviewing my son, who has a popular talk show with his co-host, Tim Tompkins, the Gray Area Talks, at Gray Area Talks on X, YouTube, Gray Area Talks, and talking to them. We got Sunday Night Live coming up, and a recap of what's happening with Lindsey Graham and so much more. But Lindsey Graham dying is really a big deal. Totally nasty person. I got up this morning at 5 a.m. and got at my desktop and a cup of coffee, and Lindsey Graham's dead. And then I saw the stuff immediately that, well, how's that happen? He was over there yesterday afternoon. And I'm like, immediately people are saying, well, you know, the Russians probably killed him. And just none of this adds up. I don't know, but I know this. He was extremely powerful as a gopher of the deep state. So not that he even ran things, though I thought Jeffrey Epstein was just a gopher. I knew he was on the Trial Commission board, but I didn't know he was a stand-in for David Rockefeller as the head of it. But that's in the emails. The Rothschilds, he's a representative. He's the boss. He's the head of the commission. He may be more powerful than Trump, they say, in the first administration. All is tied into him. And that was at the core of this. And seeing that, you know, is he a gopher? Is he super powerful? Well, he kind of took over from McCain that controlled the Senate's money to radical Orthodox Islam and all these proxy wars and things. So whether he's a puppet or not, he's a stand-in for this. And him dying, I don't know if the Russians did kill him. If they knew he was there, they said, we're going to hit these facilities, get your diplomats, get your politicians, get them out back in May. I showed you that. I appreciate, you know, the crew, because you said told Americans get out. I want to know the Russians said diplomats, your military advisors, and your politicians. They were very specific, because we're going to kill these command bases. And so we did find the articles and show the actual Russian statement, because I don't want to just show something and, you know, I'm neurotic about, obviously people know I don't make stuff up, but I want to show you stuff. So that's where we are. Well, let's see, we're showing it again. Let's show the one about U.S. diplomats and government personnel. You did show it. There it is. So it's a big deal. We already showed us. It doesn't matter. So here is Lindsey Graham. I'm not going to play the whole thing. This is his last speech or press conference where he's talking about Ukraine and Iran. And then he went on TV before he, I guess, went to the hotel. They haven't confirmed they blew the hotel up. They haven't confirmed that's where he's staying. That's where he normally stays. And when Tucker was in Russia, they hit where he was at with a drone. And then they launch every week, 500, 600, 1,000, sometimes 700 and 600 at a time on Russia, blowing up the refineries, you name it, blowing up bridges, blowing up their nuclear bases, blowing up their strategic air command, trying to get them to go full ape. I mean, this just escalated out of control. So we'll get the Gray Area Talks host take on this in a moment. But let's play Lindsey Graham's last little press conference, then his last TV appearance. Let's go to the first clip here. This is clip 33. Lindsey Graham's final press conference took place in Ukraine. Here it is.
Announced as of about 30 minutes ago, we've reached agreement with the White House on a version of the Russian sanctions bill that they will support. It means it's going to become law. So when I get back to Washington, I'm going to go with Senator Blumenthal to the Republican and Democratic leader to see if we can find time to move this Russian sanctions package that would give tools to President Trump to help end this war.
Called Ukraine very effective in
The road to ending this war, the road to peace, passes through Beijing more than it does Washington, Kyiv, or Moscow. China has an oversized influence. I'd like them to use their influence for the good of the world. Yeah. I don't believe Putin is there yet, but it wouldn't take much to get him there. And the sooner we can have a dialogue about peace, the quicker this war is over.
It's Japan's news agency. I just been back from NATO summit Ankara.
I've never been more optimistic than I am today that we have the formula to end this war. Help Ukraine be more lethal. Let those supporting Russia to know it's going to be a price to be paid if you keep doing it. And to try to find an off-ramp, not to humiliate Putin, but to end this war so that Ukraine will thrive and survive.
Listen how poignant those bells are.
Sanctions package.
Hit pause. I want to say something. Think back to our guests. We're going to have back on soon. When I was a little kid growing up in Dallas, I loved it. You would hear the church bells ring. They didn't do them at night, but about 7 a.m. till about 10 at night. It was always so beautiful, but the left didn't like them. It was Christian. You were abusing us, and they got laws passed to ban it. But call to prayer blaring at 5 a.m. in New York, in Michigan, in Texas, that's fine. Oh, like Tarzan or something. But listen to that still quasi-Christian country, though he's banned the main Orthodox Church. Listen to those beautiful church bells. And we could tell what time it was he had that press conference by how many times it dongs. But just go back to where we were, because I'm going to track all this tonight and figure out whether or not he could have gotten out of the country. But if he was already in trouble for using diplomatic flights, I bet he didn't. I bet Hannity told the truth. They were best buddies. 12-hour, 10 to 12 hour, he said 12, train out of there to get out and fly out, then 7 hours back. And reportedly he was there doing interviews at noon. I think the Russians killed him, if that's right. This is a big deal. Sorry, let's go back.
We have a magic moment in time here. In the coming months, if we do this right, increase Ukraine's lethality, get people to help us with Putin rather than propping him up, we can end this war.
Wow.
Long time no see. Happy Meals. Thank you very much. Happy to see you.
This is yesterday.
How are you?
He's dead
Good.
now.
Older. Older.
We're told he got back and died in D.C.
Hey, he made it back in time. Wow.
Got
That's
rosy
Totally
cheeks.
laundering money. All of them been caught. He's under investigation for it. Now he's dead.
Thank you for coming, Lindsay.
Which is a good point.
Yeah.
Got a little
Correction Tim
update
made.
for you here.
Maybe that somebody else killed him.
Tell me when I can talk. But good visit with the president, right?
Yeah, I think that we had really a good meeting.
Yeah, I
the
think
mood
so
was
too,
good,
yeah.
and we had some very important results.
Great briefing by your intel folks. I would recommend that you send them over on the war
Good. We will do
and
it.
the effect thinking.
And I think that the decision of President Trump about licenses, positive signals about Patriot licenses, very important.
Totally fake. Totally choreographed.
Oh, boy.
Execution.
Okay, one more
yes.
clip. We'll go back to our guest. Here is Lindsey Graham's last appearance on TV before he supposedly got out of the country and got back to die in D.C. Here it is.
What happens next? I spent 4.5 hours with President Trump Friday. Here's what I think will happen next. If this deal fails, President Trump is going to take the Strait of Hormuz over by force. The United States will control the Strait of Hormuz. We'll charge a fee for all those who go through to pay for the operation. And we're going to expand the Abraham Accords in calendar year 2026. We're going to get Saudi Arabia to join the Abraham Accords, and which is the biggest change in 5,000 years in the Mideast. And if Iran contests control of the Strait of Hormuz by the United States, we will obliterate them. So to all the people listening, if this diplomatic effort fails, President Trump is going to take the Strait of Hormuz. We're going to run it. We're going to try to get Saudi Arabia to join the Abraham Accords to end the Arab-Israeli conflict in 2026. And if Iran continues to attack Israel and Lebanon, the new policy will be we'll hit Iran. So to the Iranians, if you're listening, when you use Hezbollah to attack Israel, I think the new policy will be we will attack Iran.
Okay, so he did that from Kiev. You know, Trump a month ago, I played the clip like 5 times, said, actually got artillery and missiles there. It's 18 miles wide. They'll be able to close it. We can't really invade it. It'll be too many troops dead. We don't have a stomach for it again. But he's just like, nope, we're just going to take the Strait of Hormuz. That's what Israel wants, is us to invade. But they've said they won't put troops in. Tim Tompkins, Rex Jones, Gray Area News, Gray Area Talks. Where do you see this going? Where do you see anything? I want to shift gears into the midterms, domestic issues, the Charlie Kirk alleged assassin trial.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's key to point out in that first video you showed, the last video of little Lindsay, the wicked witch from South Carolina, he's talking about sanctions packages. I think that's the 21st or 20th one they've planned on passing or going to pass. So how'd that work out? You know, we've been hearing the same thing for 4 years from Lindsay and other people like Lindsay, even before the war. I mean, back in the 2010s, he said it would be the year of offense, right? So they've been prepping for this for a very long time. You can look at John McCain, Victoria Nuland. They went there in 2014. They set up the Maidan coup. Zelensky is literally a guy that was played like the Kevin Spacey of the country, played the president on TV. And Lindsay was just a piece of that very sick puzzle. So
yeah, and I just
Tim wants to talk about causation.
I want to jog your guys' memory back. We did a deep dive on the American Journal about this.
Right.
All of this could have been completely avoided from the beginning. When the Russians had dissolved and there was no longer the Soviet Union, they were ready to come into the United States and the Western society and join. But why Lindsey Graham gives me chills on a lot of these guys is because of the fact that they all have the similar rhetoric. You can go watch videos from decades back then. They wanted to come into society. They wanted to integrate with the West. And then the West said, hey, we have this genius idea called shock therapy. Let's sell all of the assets to the richest billionaires here in Russia and cause their inflation to go
They looted Russia.
Yeah, they looted Russia. And so then you create a whole chain reaction of these events, which allows people like Putin to come in because he got the oligarchs out. And then you have people who are not quote unquote pro what United States wants. We go in there and we just decide, okay, we're going to start changing people out in Ukraine. We're going to change out
we'll fix it this time. We got new leader, new moderate rebel.
And the last thing I want to say on this is just look at how regime change never works. It never works. And then we also tell Russians we're not going to bring any more people into NATO. We start expanding all the way to the point where we're at their border.
12 countries.
Imagine if we almost had nuclear conflict over the fact that Russia was about to have a missile parked in our backyard.
Cuban Missile Crisis.
Okay, so all of this kind of goes together and you watch all the rhetoric. It's the same thing. These people have no long-term thinking. They have no idea to comprehend the fact that these small decisions that you think is the right decision, you're going to end up causing the death of millions and millions of people. And I'm just so sick of it.
My dad would call it second, third, fourth, fifth order thinking. That's what you would call that, right, Dad?
Well, no, Tim's right, and they've been told all this, and they know this, but here's the problem. Victoria Nuland, all these neocons, Lindsey Graham, they all make huge amounts of money themselves off of this. So that's why they're thinking one-dimensional. So how do you guys see this ending?
It doesn't.
The only way this ends, I mean, Russia already has the upper hand. They know this is a war of attrition. All they have to do is continue to keep on going. It's at the moment at which, let's say, Iran maybe winds down and people can start paying attention to Ukraine again, that we can get Ukraine back in check. Because right now, the only thing that's keeping them going is the fact that they're still being supplied by the West.
Well, and look at Europe, right? Europe has to make some decisions. If you're not going to get cheap oil or LNG from Russia because Nord Stream is destroyed, we blew it up, and you can't get cheap oil from the Strait of Hormuz because that's closed as well.
What about Rex? The news told me Putin blew up Nord Stream.
Oh, yeah, no, Ukrainian terrorists. That's what I heard. You know, of course, not the ones that we bankroll and fund. Certainly not.
Right.
So we cover that all the time.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, it really comes down to when the well runs dry.
Yeah.
It's if I think I think the moment it winds down is if we get into a conflict with China, there's no way we can keep a war on 3 different fronts.
And we're
China now is doing a lot of menacing in the Strait of Malacca right now. So we're going to be watching that very closely. I don't think this is a good thing overall, but it's a good thing as a sign. In the last month, more than 50 that we know of, most of it doesn't even hit the news or doesn't hit national news. You've got all these oligarchs, all these bagmen for Zelensky that, and even Interpol and says no, it's Zelensky. Zelensky's under investigation. They're killing all these bagmen because obviously Zelensky's trying to consolidate and get all the money himself first. So they're even closing the loop now on all their corruption and getting rid of loose ends. That's a sign that Zelensky is getting ready to flee. Or maybe I'm being optimistic. What do you guys think?
I agree. I mean, you have to look at the incentive. I mean, he could go to the south of France. He could come here, kind of just like Netanyahu. Netanyahu's kid just changed his name, right? So, like, there's an out.
I didn't know that. Whoa. You mean the little candy-ass guy that never joins the IDF, lives in Miami? He changed his name?
That's right. He changed his name.
Whoa, tell me about this. This is breaking news. Give me the details.
I saw this reported on earlier today. He's changed his name. It's like his new last name is Hone, I think, or that may be the first name. Y'all could look this up and find it real quick.
That's confirmed. Netanyahu's son.
Yes.
A name, a strategy, or a shield. The curious rebranding of Yar Netanyahu. Whoa. He changed. Oh, that means Netanyahu's getting a run because he's already been convicted. Whoa. What publication is that?
The Times of Israel. Straight from the horse's mouth.
The Times of Israel yesterday. Oh, okay, Rex, I'm glad you're on. This is breaking news. Tell me about this. That is another good sign. They're getting ready to run. Man, thank God. Hallelujah.
Yeah. Woo. I mean, look at the giant.
I just went from being depressed to excited.
Look at the giant compound that they're building in Albania. Jared Kushner's building a giant compound there. Maybe they'll all go live together.
Well, they announced they're grabbing the former second largest Russian nuclear war base with thousands of underground bunkers for $5 billion with Nat Rothschild. Then when it came out, they denied it, even though it was his wife, Ivanka, admitted it. And then they grabbed the coastline, put fences up and denied it. Millions protested, so they had to back off. What are they thinking? It's like, it's insane. Hold on. Let's go back. Benjamin Netanyahu's son just changed his name. That right there, they're running for the hills.
Well,
oh my God.
Could you be his son and walk around and you make a dinner reservation and your last name is Netanyahu?
Well,
just imagine.
Kind of speaks to what they've done, though, right?
I was about to say.
I walk around as his kid, Alex Jones's son, and I feel quite fine about that, quite good about that. And plenty of people don't like me because of it. But I mean, this is like you can't fit into society at all. Well, you're like forbidden from society,
right? And just remember, BB is in the exact same situation as Zelensky, right? Because they're at war right now. They haven't had the ability to put Netanyahu on trial for the things that happened during October 7th. They haven't been able to look into all the specifics of why he was allowed to do half of the things that he's been allowed to do. So he wanted to keep this going on. So the fact that he could avoid the justice that was going to come after him at the end of the day.
I think the scary thing that we're realizing now, if we see more from Ben-Gvir and Smotrich, I know, Dad, you talk about Ben-Gvir a lot. That guy is completely like he's.
Yeah, the problem is you get rid of Netanyahu and even worse lunatic.
Yeah, Ben-Gvir literally he has rabies. He's like Cartman, like real life Cartman from South Park, but demonic as well. It's how
he's like a 400-pound dude that they arrest flotilla. People bring rice and beans to the Gaza.
Yeah, he shoves them down.
He slaps them around on camera and like looks like he's having an orgasm. I don't know what he's on, dude. He looks like he's on 10 hits of ecstasy every time I see him.
He's high on life, and this is the thing. All of Lebanon must burn. Like that's an outrageous statement to say about any country, right? But all of Tanzania must burn. All of Australia must burn.
We're going to kill everybody, kill the Christians. I mean, well, God, this megalomania must feel great.
Oh, and the best part, there is a whole demographic of people that completely agree with him, which is the most insane part. And you're talking about not just average people, but like people who are in power.
It's a weird fusion of like the elite beliefs, right? Because the ones that don't want to go fight are actually quite.
Yeah, the Christian Zionists think we make Jesus come back by nuclear war. You have the Iranian mullahs think that they're going to make their mullah come, their Messiah. You've got a bunch of the Jews that think it. And then you got the EU unelected thinks they can expand by war. It's a bunch of crazy people. Well, who's crazier? The unelected EU commission that wants total war and thinks they're going to defeat Russia, the crazy Greater Israel people, the Christian Zionists, or the Muslims? I think it's just a pack of lunatics.
I think you got to say the Christian Zionists, because at least the Muslims and the world Jewry power interests are fighting for their own faction.
Exactly.
Their own faction.
At least they've got something for it. Good point, Rex.
Yeah,
Sorry,
like the Christian Zionism is essentially cuckoldry, right? Where you're saying my New Testament is not good enough. I need your version of the Old Testament. And hey, Jesus Christ, he's not actually the fulfillment of the New Testament. He's whatever you say he is that fits into your theology, because the land was promised to you 3,000 years ago.
You said Jesus was not the Messiah.
Yeah, exactly. Lord have mercy.
A Jewish rebel who was dealt with wisely.
Yeah, exactly. So when you have that attitude, I wouldn't even call it Christianity at all. It's kind of a new religion.
Yeah.
Right.
And then it breeds people like who Mark Levin's of the mirror on the wall.
Hamas and Hezbollah. Here's the thing, Mr. Producer.
Who wants Armageddon most of all? You're right. It's like a weird Israel worshiping Armageddon cult, like Hale Bop, where you drink vodka and take barbiturates, and you wear Nike tennis shoes and black pajamas, and you're beamed up to the comet.
Right. Well, here's the thing. You're talking about kind of the Muslim debate question as well, and I do want to get this clip. Here's the thing. You had that viral debate with Sneeko. You energy mogged him. It went huge everywhere. Now, we can disagree on certain points, but Tim actually knows him from back in the day.
Yeah.
So he blocked both of us.
He blocked both of us.
And we want to talk to him. So what was that like?
By the way, he chickened out to come back on.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he was supposed to come out on the next day. And he made some excuse about the soccer.
He peed his little poo-poo.
Well, here's the thing. You were broadcasting before he was born, right? So I think that's kind of an odd experience for someone to come into that kind of environment. And he definitely got mogged by you. He didn't understand the elephant seal energy.
It's just it's insane to me.
The truth was, I had a meeting to go to, and I was just trying to blast. It was not serious. I just blasted him.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, he's completely changed since I've known him. I mean, he grew up Catholic, Christian. His family, nicest people ever. I'm not even sure what goes on in their minds as they see what their son has basically been doing on the internet.
Well, he's successful.
He grew up with Sneeko in Connecticut. So what type of guy is he?
I mean, he was always like provocative like that, joking, always loud, those types of things. And we used to make like racist jokes back and forth between each other and all that type of stuff. So he's always kind of had that personality. The part I didn't expect was kind of like this now morphed version of like hatred, to the extent where it like gets kind of dangerous on the Israelis and the Jewish people, because it's like, dude, our school, half the people were Jewish there. His best friends, we had a friend group. I was one of his best friends. They were Jewish too. We were in bar and bat mitzvahs, dancing it up, living it up. And I'm like,
that's my thing, is that Netanyahu's unpopular. And this whole thing is, I'm actually not Israel's enemy. I want them to stop destroying themselves. Plus, they have nukes. He goes to a very bad place. Well, guys, we got to come back on soon. You guys are going to continue on with your streams. We post your streams at Real Hawk Jones. Where do they find you? Where you guys are going to keep streaming tonight? You're going to keep going.
Yeah, you can join us on Gray Area Talks on X. It's right there, and in the bio you can find our YouTube. You can find our Rumble on there. You guys are going to continue on, right?
We're going to be live. Please join us. We're going to be live. Find us on X or Rumble. Please follow us on Rumble or YouTube at Gray Area Talks.
Yes, we're going to be doing a lot
of. All right, guys, we'll talk
stuff.
to you soon. Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Saturday Night Live's coming up. We're going to look at, was Graham really killed over there, or was he killed over here? We got to study this more. I'll know more tomorrow, but I'll keep looking at it. That's coming up on the streams at Real Hawk Jones on X, stations across the country, and on rumble.com/.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
We're free from the yoke of the voice.
Okay.
Man, he's got quite a voice. It's very, it makes me lock in.
Woo. What'd you think? I enjoyed it.
It was good. We'll definitely do it again. It was a little too short because of the beginning. Right. Yeah. And here's the thing, right? Everyone, especially the very talented people, we all have flaws, right? And I have the same thing. Tim has seen me get pissy a little bit. Okay. So like we can get Joneses can get a little upset, but he's a great guy and we had a great program, great broadcast. Very grateful to everyone that's watching from here. I mean, we got to do it again. We got to film something in that downstairs studio.
I was gonna say that'd probably be easier too, just to have like a regular conversation.
But this works. I'm surprised that it actually worked.
Yeah, and I haven't had a chance to see the new studio yet. I'll definitely stop by the next time you start. They probably have you like guest host or something. But really, honestly, it isn't. I will say, to your point early on,
Right.
It is pretty intense to be on the other side as you are now live with him, because you're like sitting there like, don't be stupid, don't say anything to trigger anything
the thing
wrong.
is like they have a crew and we don't have a crew.
Yeah.
So like for the headroom thing, for example, like fixing the camera. Thank you for doing that, by the way. Like that dude, when I was a kid, here's the thing. This is why it always make me tremble a little bit to interview my dad or be on with them. When I was a kid, I was a cameraman, right? Between probably like age 14 to 16. And I would film him like every day at the house with the cell phone, like the little tripod holder. And I have to get the shot right. Right. And he would do a take and then it'd be like 5 minutes, be like, this is all messed up. We got to do it again. And I just like, I want the settings to be good. I don't want to mess up anything like auditory or visual.
Yeah.
So
no, 100%.
Little PTSD for sure. Absolutely. But yeah, we actually got a ton of news.
No, we have a ton of news today. We appreciate you guys coming over, whoever has been coming over from the network. Yeah, he should be done within the next couple of minutes, or they're done already.
Yeah, I'm going to pull a few of these things up. I wanted to read this, and it's good that we covered it in the first hour, so people are briefed on Lindsey Graham being dead and all of that. This is a very respectful, but also strong and forceful statement on Lindsey. I'm going to read it. My statement, this is from Mike Adams, the health ranger. Great guy, has like 150 IQ, runs like a testing facility for chemicals. Super smart. My statement on the death of Lindsey Graham. We all pass away sooner or later, as none of us are immortal. It's what we do with the precious gift of life that counts. With each decision and action we take during this life, we build a legacy reflection of our true self and our core principles. That legacy stays with our soul for eternity, surviving the passage of this biological experience on Earth. While God wants us to live lives of compassion with universal love for life, Senator Lindsey Graham lived a life filled with seething hatred towards God's children. I think that's true. He endlessly promoted war, escalation, and repeatedly and openly celebrated the large-scale killing of human beings. Yes, he called for nuclear weapons to be used as well. He called to destroy the earth, literally. He wanted to blow up the planet. While God wants us to demonstrate ethics and morals, Senator Lindsey Graham repeatedly demonstrated deception and betrayal, even selling out his own country and repeatedly professing his loyalty to Israel instead of to the U.S. Senator Graham lived a life consumed by death. He claimed to represent truth, but reeked of deception. He betrayed not merely the people of his home state, the people of America, but humanity as a whole. Under the light of honest cosmic judgment of his own actions and words, Senator Graham will be seen as standing for demonic evil, destruction, disloyalty, and mass death. He lived a life at the expense of others, not in service to others. And that is, Tim, that is everything. Because what is he, a public servant? He's like a 30-year public servant, right?
Supposed to be. You got to put air quotations on the public servant part.
That is the great betrayal, right? Because it's one thing to be, a wicked sinner, right? It's another thing to be a wicked sinner that has the potential, the power to fix things for people, to help people. And then to throw that in the garbage.
Well, the cherry on top is when they start saying like the Christian stuff and how they're such a devoted Christian and they love God and Jesus, this is what he would want us to do. A lot of these guys have, this is the whole reason why the founding fathers were like, dude, we have to have a separation of church and state.
Yeah.
because of people like
you're
that.
Absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. It cannot become, and everyone loves, Pete Hegseth running around with the cross in the military, but he's using them to commit war crimes. And God doesn't like that. So like, is it the sizzle that you like, or is it the steak? And people got to make, you see what I'm saying? They got to make that decision, but I'll read the rest of it real quick. He exploited his political power and wielded it as a weapon of evil against the innocent rather than a tool of good for the underprivileged. Senator Graham lived and died as a wretched creature who temporarily defied the will of God in his quest for personal power and narcissistic self-importance. He is only missed by those who share his twisted values of evil, deception, and betrayal. The rest of humanity will say, good riddance to evil, and pray that men like Lindsey Graham are forevermore halted before they can rise to positions of power that they wield as weapons against fellow human beings. Flatly stated, our world is better off today without Lindsey Graham in it. That's just true. It is true. And all of those who share his twisted values are a scourge upon humanity and a cancer on our world. His time in the U.S. Senate may be over, but his much longer time in hell begins today. Because in hell, like in the Senate, there are no term limits. And here's the thing, right? We always want to say opportunity for repentance, finding Christ. And I do want everyone, including Lindsey Graham, to have the grace of God and to have mercy. The last thing he was doing, though, was he was at a bomb factory.
And he was literally saying, last man alive
in
Ukraine,
die.
we'll send them to die.
So, like, that's where we are.
You know how like I have to do these mental gymnastics in my head because of just the morality of just like, oh well, this guy just died,
right?
And I started to make excuses for him in my head of like, oh well, I can't really talk about this, or I can't really make fun of this like I used to because of the fact that this man has just passed away. But if I take it in its entirety, I think this was like almost like a bit of like karmic retribution for the things that all things must come to pass.
Right. Well, and the thing is ultimately, and like we could all die tomorrow, tonight, Lord have mercy. Right. But at the end of the day, Lindsay is in a situation where I think he's like mocking and openly defying God. And that's my opinion. I can't speak for God. I don't know what God believes, but in the Bible, it says you're not supposed to do basically everything that Lindsay did.
Now, here is the interesting part. Even if the Russians were to be behind this and did this, right?
Right.
They have plausible deniability, right? I mean, you warned all diplomatics to come out,
right.
and you've also said we're going to ramp up bombings. You could just say, hey, it was a stray missile that targeted the wrong building, and we thought, we were going after this one.
Well, and that's such a key point, Tim, because that's actually the hidden secret of like why these countries like Iran, Russia operate under the curtain of international law. It's like, hey, like we follow the rules, and it is what it is.
Yeah, it's a stray missile. We didn't mean to, guys.
Exactly. So here's the last image of Lindsay. All right, and I think this speaks volumes.
The last image of him, in bed and nice and tucked in. Is that what I'm looking at?
Yeah. And the jokes abound. I'm not going to do it.
I know,
but today. But we can't do it.
Sorry,
can't
bro.
do it. But
I just don't have a lot of sympathy left for people like this.
In a couple weeks.
In a couple weeks, fine. Too soon.
But look at this. Like all of these, like dead. Like every one of these represents at least one dead body.
Dead, yeah.
Right. So the idea of like, oh, I'm cool. I'm going into the war environment. You're a U.S. senator. You're not supposed to do foreign policy. You're supposed to be here. So he's in violation. Literally in violation.
Bro, but remember we talked about McCain. McCain was doing, he is the new McCain, bro.
My dad was right.
Yeah. I mean, McCain, remember we saw the video of him like taking pictures during the Maidan coup, and he's like, wow, I did this.
Great point.
I was able to change the regime here to somebody who's pro United States. So,
well, is there any proof he's dead? I think he's dead. I think he died of his death. I think
let's read super chat real quick.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, absolutely. From Moshmiri, on paper, or can I display it as well? I should be able to, right? Or
go to starred, and then
got it. On paper, I'd probably seem like a lefty, but I love America. I'm an info warrior. I've been a listener to Alex since 2017 in college, and I'm a huge fan. Thank you. Much love to you and your family, Rex. You and Tim are fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Nah, I mean,
we like being on the network too.
It's not about, I know the dichotomy of being like, well, it's lefty or I sound lefty, bro. Half the time, some of my positions definitely seem more liberal in certain aspects, but they're just grounded in truth and reality. Well, they created the bucket there, right?
There are areas where I would say I'm more left-wing than you, according to traditional definitions, and areas where I'm more right-wing, and then vice versa. And here's the thing. As young people, as people really under the age of 30, like my life mission, and I think it's part of yours as well, I don't want to speak for you, Tim, is just like, we got to kill these definitions because they don't serve us. They don't,
not at all.
They don't, it doesn't mean anything.
Yep.
And in fact, it ruins human interaction, right? Because you go talk to someone, they go, I'm a Democrat. Are you a Democrat? I'm a Republican. Are you a Republican? How about I'm your neighbor? Like what? What are we doing here? And it's literally, you have to like the sports team. You have to know everything about the sports team. And the cool thing about me is I know about the sports team and I don't like it.
100%. I will say that is the one thing that I really did appreciate about, not just AJN, but InfoWars when it was in its stages.
Sure.
There wasn't any censorship to be saying like, what do you say here? You got to sound conservative. You got to say X, Y, and Z. No, we were in there saying what we wanted, how we wanted, and we wanted to push the right message. And it was received by the people who wanted to receive it.
Well, what did they give us when we walked in? They gave us producer, they gave us editors, they gave us switchers, and they said, do your show, right? That's literally what it was. There's literally, besides getting the rundown, the formatting, there's no creative control besides ours, right? And that's 100%. The beautiful thing at InfoWars, at AJN, in alternative media, how it should be done. If you're good enough to do the show, you just do your show. That's the key, right? And that's the difference between like everyone coming after my dad for years and years and years, like trying to like Plankton, like where's the Krabby Patty formula? Like what is the Krabby Patty formula? And it's like, well, it's just actually doing a good job.
No,
like that's kind of,
you're right, because it's not like a corporation where you've got to like climb the ladder, bro. I mean, how long were we streaming before we got that opportunity?
6 months,
right?
Like 6 months, and then we go do it,
and we just did it.
Anything's possible when you put your mind to it. It really is. And especially when you have people that have like a genuine goal, right? Because my dad's genuine goal is to have the best network, right? So then you just have people on that are going to make your network the best network. It doesn't have to do with any political message or any goal or anything like that, besides, of course, being like pro-humanity and like America first. And of course, everything we should be already. But it's just kind of like we're post-duopoly, right? And that's what makes us different. We don't fit in those boxes for sure. But we got more. You want to go to it?
Yeah.
I got haunting statements from him. All right, I got 2 of these haunting statements kind of predicting his own death. And this is, you talked about karma. Like, he's wishing these things on other nations, other people, other countries. Look at this is why I'm hesitant, and this is why I even like talking about Lindsay. Like, I don't want to disrespect the dead because you shouldn't do stuff like this, but watch this.
All the anti-Semites, to all the isolationists, I don't believe. Forget it. I'm not with you. I'm with Israel. I will be with Israel to our dying day. They're the best ally we could hope for. So we have.
Okay, he just said, I'll be with Israel, Izrul, until my dying day.
See, it's too soon. There's so much that I want to say, but I cannot say it because I have to be respectful. But like, come on, man.
You're a good person, too.
Come on, man.
You're a good family man.
Goodness gracious. And this is the type of stuff Fox loves to do. Like,
right.
Get the F-35 fighter jet. It's on the tarmac, ready to go. Ready to bomb the terrorists, the jihadis.
And then, you get the classic boomer that's in his living room sitting in the middle of like Kansas or something. He's, yeah, let's go. That's right. We love Lindsay.
That's me. Yeah, exactly. I imagine identifying with Lindsey Graham.
No, here's the part. This is why this stuff doesn't work, guys.
1 second, sorry.
We're so divorced from the decision to the impact. It's as simple as that. It's just because you don't see the pile of dead bodies in front of you. If you were to move all the bodies that Graham has been directly or indirectly responsible for, it would probably be a massive mountain, and he'd probably change his ways. But when you have some distance, you get to pretend like the world is bliss. You get to go to Disneyland
it's a video game.
With your bubble wand. It's just not real. And I would say that same thing for the people that sit on the TV and they're like,
yeah, he got those muzzies. He got those Russians and those Ukrainians.
It's like, come on now. It's just because of the fact that you don't know and you aren't experiencing what it's like. We talked to a guy that literally is on the front lines. He says it's miserable.
It's not good for anybody. How about that? How about it's not good for anybody? How about we want peace and compromise and negotiation? All right. And these other nations, they're the evil monsters. They never negotiate. All I want to do is kill. Well, all we do is kill. Okay. So if we're going to hold people to that standard, it's the classic Trump line. I say it so often, too often, honestly, but it's true. You think we're so innocent. And that was in direct response to a 60 Minutes interviewer asking him about Putin. You say you'd get along with Putin. He's a killer, sir. Putin's a killer. You think we're so innocent.
Well, and if you want to understand the minds of people, you have to go through the history of what they've been exposed to.
Sure, absolutely.
It's as simple as this. They have been propagandized their entire lives. Somebody taught that man that anything that is not America or in the interest of America is bad, right? Regardless of however that country feels or the people in it.
Right.
And you have to exert your will and your way in order to get things done. And that's all that matters, is the get things done part, not how we get them done. And just get it done.
The thing is death. Like, they get the death done.
And by the time the retribution or the karmic retribution or whatever, the impact of that, people like that are already gone. I mean, he was already 70. He wasn't going to make it more than another 20 years.
Well, that's kind of the meta thing, right? We do want to show more clips, but this is another thing to talk about because we talk about it a lot on the show. And this is, again, to people in our audience that are older, we love you, we respect you, we consider you to be elders, we respect our elders. That's what our parents taught us to do. Of course, we're not trying to be rude here, but you do have this generation, specifically the boomers, okay? They have been in power over Congress or legislature for 30 years, okay? 60 out of 99 senators, I guess now 59 that Lindsay is dead, 60 out of 99 are boomers. All right. So
Mhm.
that is a power block and a demographic that is largely unrepresentative of the majority of the country, right? Especially the young people, right? So there's always been this thing, Tim, where you're like, oh, this person is older, right? They're more wise, they're more educated, they've seen more of the world. We can trust them, right? Because they've, I've seen more summers than you can imagine. stuff like that, right?
We used to walk in 10 feet of snow.
We used to walk backwards uphill in the snow 10 miles to go to school. But the problem with that now is that now we're in 2026. We're not really in the year 2000 anymore. And the old people that are around now, they were around like the 60s and the 70s, man. And during that era of the country, if you weren't fighting in Vietnam or you weren't at Woodstock, you were participating in like the greatest economic boom that had ever been around. Oh, the oil crisis. Then you got Reagan. Okay, give me a little bit of a break here. Okay, I know it was difficult. The prospect was, though, if it was horrible and you had to work 2 to 3 jobs, you could get that house. We can't. That's the difference. Okay, it's also a problem of advancement, right? So people like Lindsay promised to abide by term limits in like 1992. Okay. They never followed up on that. You'll notice, right? So
we're waiting.
So it's this group that has told us to pull up our bootstraps while they have like rocket boots that they bought like 1,000 years ago, or that God sold them, basically. Like God sold them rocket boots, and they're like, you just need to find ones like me. And we're like, well, we tried to build these out of scraps, and like this is kind of what we got, but we don't have the magic. We don't have what's in Wakanda, the vibranium.
The vibranium.
We don't have the vibranium anymore.
Hey, we got a guy born in 1964. We are not directing our energy at you, my
Certainly
good
not.
sir.
We love you and respect you. It's really just like the lawyers. It's the boomer lawyers specifically.
It's the Mark Levins of the world, you know. Every morning I just wake up and I look at Trump. He's just got the biggest balls on him. And I just think like, you know what? In the morning, I just only thing that's on my mind is just like, how do I wash those balls this morning? Like, Trump, how do you want them?
Trump,
you want it to the left? You want it to the right? I got you, man. Because I'm going to die for my country, because that's what a true nationalist man does for his country.
All right, he's alive. We can make fun of him. I got one. Mr. Producer, I've been watching a lot of these nature documentaries, Nat Geo, Animal Planet, Mr. Producer. You a fan of those programs? I've been watching the gopher and the prairie dog. You know what's interesting about them? It's when they're able to slide, run under the ground, and get where they need to go. Not just like those dirty Hamas and Hezbollah terrorists. But I've been in President Trump's room at night. And I've been getting under his covers like the gopher. I've been crawling on in and crawling
my favorite.
Okay, all right. Whoa! All right, that was too much. Okay, but that was fun. I did want to do it. Okay, I had to one up you. Okay, I'm sorry. That was gross.
Anyways, all right, we'll go.
That's right. He shaves them. That's right. Absolutely.
Here's the best part. We like to have fun on the show too.
Yeah, we do. We have a good time. We do costumes sometimes. Do the Trump wig. Got the meta hat and stuff like that we do. But let me show this, because this is the other Lindsay clip that I did have. Watch this.
There are a lot of headlines out there that are, in my view, not accurate. President Trump's resolve is not the question. The question is, when we do an operation like this, should it be bigger or smaller? I'm in the camp of bigger.
Hey, he likes them big. Or he liked them big. I guess past tense.
Time will tell. I'm hopeful and optimistic that the regime days are numbered. There are a lot of headlines.
Okay, so he's literally he's like a you ever you don't give your dog a piece of food and it's like sad. He's like, I didn't get my regime change.
Is that true? What Ranger's saying? Bible says to cheer the death of the wicked.
Cheer the death of the wicked. I don't know. Put the verse in there. I assume that's the old.
Yeah, you get the verse for that.
Yeah,
I'm not really sure about that one.
Wow.
Could be. You could be right.
All right, we'll go back to the rundown because we have a lot more, and you got your deep dive, so I want to get through that quick.
We're gonna do a deep dive on the toxins.
All right,
in
I'm
food.
gonna run through greatest hits.
Okay.
Real quick. All right.
Destruction.
Lindsay, behave. I'm trapped in the second dimension. I can't leave. It's my hell to be trapped on X forever.
So when we were faced with destruction as a nation after Pearl Harbor, fighting the Germans and the Japanese, we decided to end the war by bombing Hiroshima and Nagasaki with nuclear weapons. That was the right decision. Give Israel the bombs they need to end the war they can't afford to lose, and work with them to minimize casualties. Well, can I say this? Why is it okay for America to drop 2 nuclear bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki to end their existential threat war? Why was it okay for us to do that? I thought it was okay. To Israel do.
Well, maybe because we lost, like 400,000 men during World War II. Maybe it's a bit different. Maybe it's because we were fighting Hitler and Emperor Hirohito.
Well, and they say on the U.S. narrative is that Japan was not willing to concede, and they were going to do to the last man standing before we give up. So we would have had to do ground invasion, which leads to millions of more deaths. Now, I only believe half of that story.
I think it was really to show the Russians that we had the bomb.
Yeah, I think they wanted to test that.
They were coming into China, right? And we were like, slow your roll.
I actually, fun fact, last week I saw the Fat Boy. Is it Fat Boy?
Where?
I went
Is
to
it in Florida? What?
No, I went to a museum. I mean, obviously the real one was blown up.
Oh, but it's a model.
But it was a model, but I think it was one of the real shells of the real ones.
Gotcha.
It was this Air Force museum.
How big is it?
Dude, it's fucking it's
as
the
big as
size
a
of this table.
Yeah.
Dude. It's literally the size of this table. It's like at least 5 to 6 feet. It's this tall. Like you can't even see it on the screen. But like that puppy was not a joke.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is the first of its kind.
And he's asking why don't we did it there? Well, different implications now, buddy. Like even Truman regretted using it.
He regretted it very much, actually. And it here's the thing: you can look at nuclear weapons. We've talked about this before, and it is true, and it's a valid point that you make that conflict has decreased over the course of human existence, right? As technology becomes more available, as governmental systems evolve, and stuff like that. The nuclear weapon essentially froze major global conflict, right?
Agreed, because nobody wanted between first world countries and the major powers as they would be. But it used to be a lot more common. Think about it.
But real
go
quick,
ahead.
this is the interesting thing. I want your take on this. It seems to have transitioned things into, whereas before you have wide scale regional or global war, now you have proxy wars and then the economic wars that are responsible or correlated to those because of the choke points that the fighting is around, right? So it's almost even worse than it was back in the day because it's like 2 men fighting each other that are blindfolded. Imagine if me and you had to fight each other and we couldn't see.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
And if you're not going to feel the direct impact of that proxy.
But seriously, think about it. What would happen? We would go attack walls and then we would beat ourselves to death and then go to the hospital. Like that. And that's what's happened globally. And we point out the US and its flaws because it's our country. We believe it's the greatest in the world. All the other nations are doing this as well.
Yeah.
They're also making the same mistakes.
100%.
Maybe not the same scale that we are, but it's a real problem.
Yeah.
So more Lindsay.
I am Solar Friend. I can see you chat. I'm reading the chat right now. There's just a lot of chats that come in, buddy.
We love you guys.
It goes like this, and then your comment will just like get soaked out pretty quickly. So we will try to take moments within the stream where we kind of go back through the chat and talk to you guys.
For sure. After a couple of these clips really quick.
When you look at the last few years since October 7th, many people in this part of the world say what happened in Gaza does not align with Christian values. Killing children, killing mothers,
Well, to be honest
killing
with
families
you,
who are not militants.
Yeah, I don't buy that at all.
Why?
Because what did we do in World War II?
Why do we keep comparing to something that happened like 80 years ago?
Well, this is a part of the boomer thing.
What the?
It's the stolen valor of World War II because their parents fought in World War II and they think that gives them a claim to that history. That's what it is. And they go, you young people don't understand. It's like they think, you've seen Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah.
They think that they beat Sauron and like live into peace and harmony forever. They don't realize that they like dapped up Sauron and became like roommates with him, basically.
Crazy.
It's really
always
wild.
this equivalency to this particular war because that's the only one that went kind of right in our direction.
Yeah, but the thing is like that it's the same thing as to where I'll give the quote again. I think it was George W. Bush, not H.W., but George W. Bush said that we won the Cold War, right? That's another example of us like needing to say like we are supreme. And after you win, it's like, yeah, you were supposed to be gracious.
And we won Vietnam, we won Afghanistan, we won Iraq. And we're winning Iran. So I agree with that logic, Rex.
Dude, you watch UFC and like they say the most horrible things to each other. But after a guy wins, he's very gracious to his opponent. And he says good things about him because of course you would, right? If your opponent is bad, that makes you bad too, right? So like it's just a very basic mismatch there.
Basic mismatch, you're right.
But we'll go back into it.
Sorry. No, you're good.
Did we think 1 minute about starving the Germans? Did we bomb every city into Smith?
Bro, what? That was not good. We did it back then. We can do it again. It's like, what?
It's crazy.
Here's the thing. It's like, you think about it, and it's just what you said. It's key. When you're far away from it, it's like Sims or a video game because you can actually see the deaths. But when he's saying that, like I've interviewed as well solo. I think it was a solo interview that I did with Anthony Aguilar where he said this. Literally, he's at one of the aid sites and a mother.
Yeah, it was on our show.
Yeah, it was on our show. She has a pallet behind her on a rope and she's carrying her dead kids behind her because if she digs a hole and she's Hamas is tunneling and whatever, and they're going to kill her, right? So when he says stuff like that, whatever it is, what it is, it's like, Lord have mercy. I want Lindsey Graham to have grace and whatever. I'm not trying to be anti-Christian here or not be a Christian myself, but I bet the angel or God is showing him that right now. You know, like, hey, Lindsey, like, do you see this? You see that pallet with those bodies on it? Hey, and it shows the bomb falling on it. It shows Lindsey Graham signing the funding thing for it. You see what I'm saying?
It's a little toasty.
And then we're not supposed to talk about it. I'm not trying to speak ill of the dead. It's just what he did, you know? And like, it's not a personal matter. Okay. It's not like he was like a drug addict who hated God or something, right? And then God still saves him. He hurt other people.
Honestly,
every day.
You make the equivalency. A guy who's doing fentanyl on the streets is honestly
a saint.
Is a saint. Yeah.
Saint.
A better, I would say a bigger net positive. Than that.
Absolutely as well. Yeah. Both on a secular level and a religious level. Think about that. Think about the guy that's homeless and addicted to fentanyl. Think about him, losing his company in some big financial crash. Maybe the recent one, right? Maybe the war and the stuff has caused him to lose his business. His wife divorces him, leaves him. He goes back to the pills, right? Then he's on the Fetty. Then he's on the street. And he's on the street, of course, indirectly. It's one of a number of factors because of people like Graham that are in office and vote against his interests. Like, and it's all backgrounds. It's white, it's black, it's brown, it's red, it's yellow, it's gay, and straight,
male,
it's
crazy.
Female, everyone.
The fentanyl guy probably could have been stopped had we focused on our hemisphere and figured out how to stop the import of that stuff.
Absolutely. And it's just to think about the money, right? We can spend $200 billion on this war. Just we can fart it out in a few months, but then we couldn't do that on a treatment program here. We couldn't say, hey, this is a big problem for the greatest country in the world. We don't want these addicts anymore. Like, we want to heal them, of course. Like, we want to help them. But we can't it's too much money. It'll break the economy.
How dare you?
Exactly, but never for the wars. And it's just, actually, I can tell it's making you mad. It makes me mad, man, to think about it. And think about just the arrogance in his eyes. You can see it. He's like a Sith Lord.
The rings. So this
You
is a
compare
war. No,
October 7th to World War II.
Yes, I am. This is an absolute existential threat to the Jewish people. What happened on October the 7th?
What happened? They have a military base right there. I've interviewed Green Berets that have said that they could have had, lead pumping out the side of a helicopter within 10 minutes. What happened? Who benefited the most from October 7th? Would that be Netanyahu staying out of jail? Of course, it was Hamas that committed the brutal attacks, but IDF has like the greatest military per capita, right?
It's wrong,
so like, what's going on here?
It's wrong all the way around.
100%. 100%.
It's like
1,200 people were slaughtered, raped, and murdered and filmed by radical Islamists who would kill every Jew if they could, to the world. If you don't understand this is a threat to Israel's
And then they
survival,
flattened Gaza.
just flatten it. We flattened Berlin. We flattened.
And that's not even true compared to like the standard of Gaza, right? Because he talks about Tokyo, firebombing at Tokyo. That was one thing, right? Or a few things. That wasn't 3 years, right? So it's prolonged. It's not just a military action. It's a war, right? You see what I'm saying?
And by that point at which they had flattened Berlin, just remember, Germany had already flattened the UK.
Absolutely.
And they had already taken over France for all of those years.
Yeah.
What do you expect? This is not a 1-for-1 equation here.
No, it's apples and oranges, apples and automobiles.
In Tokyo. Were we wrong to drop an atomic bomb to end the Japanese reign of terror? Were we?
Might have been. Yeah, might have actually been wrong to do that, Lindsay.
So my view, if I were Israel, I would have probably done it the same way.
If I were Israel, I would have done it the same way. Murder them all.
See, like this type of stuff, just I don't have any sympathy, man. I'm sorry. Like it's like,
all right. Well, he didn't have any sympathy for anyone, literally, except for not even the Jewish people.
No,
because he's trying to destroy.
I want to watch the last 30 seconds of this.
Okay, all right. I got it. I was trying to run through it quick. All right.
Without military victory, there is no hope of breaking radicalism. We flattened Germany. We flattened Japan.
How many Americans
Wait a
believe
minute.
this?
Out of that,
the way that how many Americans think the way that you do?
I think most Republicans think the way I do.
Even young ones.
You're just out of touch if you.
Whoa. Tim, what do we think about that?
Hey, bro, I don't know how to work this iPhone. I'm out of touch, man.
Yeah, though that's the demographic.
I'm out of touch, dude.
Yeah, exactly. We're boomers, actually. We're not in touch with the youth.
Reverse boomer.
Yeah, damn. I'm 23 going on 87.
Oh, my back.
Yeah.
God.
Well, we're gonna have to get health care again. You have to vote for the Democrats.
Well, back in my day, I remember when there was no iPhone.
That's right. I remember when there was dial-up.
You know, like, and those sidekick phones, and yeah, it was just a time.
Yeah, I remember an app called Vine back in the day. Back in the old times, back before you all were born, we had an app called. We'll be saying that though.
We will be saying that one day.
All right, I'll play the end of it.
You don't understand. Republicans, when it comes to radical Islam, is on Israel's side.
Yeah. All right. So just come back to us.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just kind of crazy how, like, guys, this guy has a massive platform, bigger platform than even us, and this is the spokesperson. It's just crazy to me.
I got the classic.
Okay, we'll watch this one and we'll go into the deep.
Okay, do you want to go into the deep dive immediately after this, or because I gotta
get time to change and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But no, we'll still go on for a while. So
all right,
we'll still do news,
and we'll come back.
Yeah, we'll come back.
Sounds great. All right, this is the classic. This is if we can do Iwo Jima, we can do this. Referring to Carg Island, this is probably the most notorious Lindsey Graham clip from the past 2 years, and it's that way for a reason.
They're running out of money. So here's what I tell President Trump. Keep it up for a few more weeks. Take Carg Island, where all of the resources they have to produce oil. Control that island. Let this regime die on a vine.
Is this going to, though, take Carg Island? Is it going to involve U.S. troops on the ground? Let me just read you something from The Atlantic. Does an assessment on that. They say U.S. troops may well take Carg Island. We believe their ability to do so, but only to endure ballistic missile strikes, drone attacks, petrochemical smoke, all without a reliable means of obtaining logistical support. The result could be a grinding war of attrition. They talk about how far away they would be from resupply.
I'm sort of tired of all this armchair quarterback, and this has been an amazing military operation. God bless the fallen.
This has been an amazing operation. God bless the fallen. That's like shout out to my hood. Like that's basically what that is. Like shout out to my gangsters out there.
Does he have any kids?
Good grief. No, unmarried, no kids.
Gotcha.
So like other people's children, not his. Always, of course. God bless the fallen. # not me.
Well, the unmarried and no kids explains a whole lot. Now it's making sense in my head how somebody can become this way. No remorse.
Okay, keep playing.
I don't care. I just look.
Yeah.
I'm speaking the truth here, guys.
Yeah.
Because if you had kids, you would think twice about, like, you'd be like, my family, I got to look out. I don't want that to happen to other people's families.
But it's a difference when we talk about troops on the ground.
I trust the Marines, not that guy. I trust DOD. We got 2 Marine expeditionary units sailing to this island. We did Iwo Jima. We can do this. The Marines, my money is always on the Marines. I don't know if you take the island.
Okay, so that's 7,000 killed, and that's 20,000 additional casualties.
Yeah, one of the bloodiest conflicts in the Pacific chapter.
How do you weigh those scales, huh? And how do you justify that? You can say justifying it back then, trying to beat Emperor Hirohito after Pearl Harbor. Talking about now, who started the war on February 28th? Pretty sure that was us. I'm pretty sure the Iranians didn't attack. I'm pretty sure we attacked, and then the Iranians retaliated. And now we're like, oh, we're going to do regime change. We can't do regime change. We got to take your oil island.
Mm-hmm.
We got to take your oil island because we can't do what we set out to do.
But it's the same thing. And by the way, it's actually not the same thing. Just keep in mind, Karg Island is literally directly off the coast. Iwo Jima is a little bit further, and the technology is completely different. It's completely different. It would be a bloodbath. All of those people would literally die.
Well, this is the thing, right? And like we've interviewed top level military people before that have real world experience. And the thing is, when you drop people on an island or you bring people up on boats to the island, even if you're able to get them on there and secure a position, establish a beachhead, you have to both resupply them and protect them from oncoming attacks, right? So think about the amount of money, Tim. And like we need to look at what the war clock is now, like the debt clock on the war is, because when it stopped around the time of the MOU is at 113 billion, right? And that doesn't include any of like the munitions.
You want me to find it?
Any of the maybe if we can think about the cost militarily of these operations. Yeah, put the thingies up, the kickstand thingies. Yeah, that war debt thing is that I don't believe it. But it's in the case of like things like that, like the CNN number, the 55% of all our interceptors. Sure, the number is low, and it's most definitely an underestimate, like a deliberate one to make things look less bad. At the same time, even with that limited statistic, you can still point it out and say it's outrageous.
By the way, this should be continuing.
Yeah, look, it's frozen.
It's frozen in time.
It should not. I wonder how much they got paid
since June.
I wonder how much they got paid to shut this down. Y'all want to get paid? Build another one of these. Start it. I'll guarantee you get a call within a week.
This is not over. And they've been. And by the way, every second that we keep assets out there costs us money because you have to pay the people who are there. You have to pay for the service to actually service the ships.
Right.
Like there's a number of things, let alone the food to supply all those people that are out there doing these missions.
So that is really, leave it up for one more second. That is either a 2-month failed war, 39 days. That's how much time it took us to spend that much money. 39 days of failed war, or everyone in America gets free childcare.
Yeah, that is pretty close to the number.
That's close to 140, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm sure you round up a little bit.
What was? Yeah, I think it was 148
it was 140.
Okay, it was 140
flat. Yeah,
yeah. So I mean, 140 to have all the childcare, which is a massive problem for a lot of people.
Absolutely,
to be able to take care of your kids. I mean, I was talking to my sisters; they are dealing with that. They have two parents working in the household. It's not the 1950s where one person can survive off of the income of the entire family. It's literally they both have to go to work. Who's going to take care of the kids?
Right.
And if the kids are young enough to where they're not able to be in like school, or if your public school system sucks, you're kind of at a loss.
Right.
You're kind of at a loss.
And people be like, you support socialism. I don't want the government watching my children. How about a tax credit, huh? How would you like a tax credit, huh? Maybe, homeschool your kid, be able to afford that. Wouldn't that be cool?
Subsidies.
You see what I'm saying? So I can sense it. My astropathic abilities to the audience. I can sense the people out there going, not my backyard, not my country. I'm not paying for some Somalis bacon.
The Lyric Center. I will not have Lyric Center in my backyard.
That is an attitude that is used to control you. That is what that is. Realize the societal programs that we could actually have, that we have the money for, that they literally they farted out of their butt.
I just want a high-speed rail to Dallas, man.
Seriously,
that'd be awesome.
We had Diane on and talking about building 12 new cities. When was the last time you heard somebody say that?
Yep.
Saudis
are able to do it in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
Dude, a new city where you, she's right. A new city where you reestablish and you can create kind of like a mini utopia in a certain sense where like you can build the roads.
New.
Yeah, you're building new roads. You can have everything like renovated. I think that's a perfect idea, but now we got Tomahawk missiles. Stop being racist, man.
Yeah, I know. Let's not be racist. Let's do the deep dive to talk about RFK Jr.
Yeah, so I mean, just to add insult to injury, I mean, I had to really think about this, and I was like, I've been thinking about my health. I've been eating better. I've been doing all the things that are necessary to get my body to cooperate with me as I'm grinding. The problem is, as I go through this experience of trying to find out what can I eat and what can't I eat has been the most stressful and difficult process on earth. Like, I wish I could just like pick up something from the store and it just like doesn't contain toxins that are just like designed to give me cancer by the time I'm like 30.
Very greedy that you don't want the poison in your food.
Right. So I'm like sitting here going through this thought process. I'm like, how did we get to this equation to where now I thought we did something about that. I thought RFK was coming in with Make America Healthy again. I was like, we're doing something. We're moving in the right direction. And then it's a nothing burger and we're not talking about it anymore. So now I had to dig in deep and I'm like, why can't we solve this problem?
Right.
We have a whole 3-letter organization that's supposed to be making sure that we're supposed to be healthy, but there's got to be some conflicts of interest that are not allowing us to do what we do. For people to be healthy.
Ooh, FDA, fed, dead, and autistic. But all right,
that's a good one.
All right.
So we're gonna do a deep dive here. I know a lot of guys are in here.
Let's plug really quick before we go to the thing. So we're about to do a little like intermission thing here, just for like a minute or so, because we do like a little costume change here, and we're getting to the deep dive coming up. You guys need to check us out on X, on Rumble, on YouTube. Gray Area Talks. We do a phenomenal show. We're always here getting the best guests. We're always here in the morning as well. You got to follow Gray Area Talks. Okay, YouTube, Rumble, and X. If you go to my profile, if you're watching this on my X, both Tim at Truism Tim and Gray Area at Gray Area Talks are listed below. Please give Truism Tim a follow. Just follow Truism Tim on X. And here's the thing. We're getting to a point now, because so many of you guys have followed both me and him, that we're able to do these big shows, these big guests. You know, contrary to popular belief, it's not a silver spoon of nepotism that gets waved around. You see how my dad is. You know how he behaves. You have to earn everything.
You have to earn everything.
So we're getting to a point now, though, because people are hearing about our show, talking about it on InfoWars or Alex Jones Network. People are calling in, leaving messages, you name it. We really, really, really appreciate that. Tell people that you know, and tell people that watch the show, just in general, hey, have you heard about Gray Area? You heard about Rex and Tim, what they got going on over here? New American Journal in the morning as well. But you got to follow us across all socials. Real easy to find.
Right there in this link tree.
Got it all there. Gray Area Talks. But that's my spiel.
Right. Okay. So deep dive. Yes, we got a deep dive today. And we basically have the same thing that if you guys were tuning with us on the American Journal, it's going to be a similar process to that.
Really quick. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Will you throw that one up? Stop advocating for socialism. You want to pay other people's expenses to out of your own pocket. What about paying for the bombs that kill other people? Because I don't get any choice in that. And we spend like 10 times more money on that than the money we need to fix every problem here.
If I could allocate my taxes, I would rather spend my money on those things than some worthless conflict that doesn't bring me any type of success.
I got some oceanfront property in Arizona. From my front porch, you can see the sea. And there's no ocean in Arizona. So,
hey, we appreciate. Hey, Damon, I got to get you your freaking sweatshirt, bro.
Yeah, we got to get you the merch.
I'm so sorry, but I appreciate you for doing this one, for shouting us out. He was actually part of our crew. We've got a great set of guys that are helping us behind the scenes.
Once you're a part of the crew, you're always a part of the crew.
100%. We miss you. All right. We'll be right back, guys. Do not go anywhere. It is going to be a deep dive on how America is poisoning us. And we got to fix this.
I took away your food. I promised you a lot of food. I'm giving you poison. How are we all doing tonight?
How are we doing, guys? How are we doing? Are we feeling healthy? Are we feeling like we've got the right system in place to consume these toxins? I think so. Typical American stuff here going on, but I just had to cover it. It's been a while. I've been thinking about this one for a while, but I just never really dove into it. And I'm getting back into the cadence of making sure we're on top of these things.
Right.
I'm starting to feel a little bit better ever since I started taking these supplements. So
let's go, dude.
This is good. This is good. We're moving in the right direction. I think his comment's still up there.
Oh, yeah. You're
I am. He's wondering what I am. Right now, I am your local deli meat store. I'm the guy who's behind the serving you the Arby's. We have the meats. You want
ground beef?
You want half a pound of ham, or you want a pound of Land O'Lakes cheese? I got you.
I actually don't know what those things are. I've never been inside a grocery store before. Can you believe it?
So, I mean, let's start here. All right. I mean, let's start with the food we already know is bad, but it's just on the shelves. Go ahead and pull up that photo there for us, Rex.
This doesn't look bad. This looks pretty healthy. You know, you got like 500 different flavors of chips. Yeah.
Control.
Oh, my bad.
Control, and then just there you go. Oh my gosh. Look at that. The wall of flavors.
Right.
Delicious. Look at that. I mean, I used to love Cool Ranch Doritos back in the day.
Right.
I never really dabbled in the stuff that was like the hot Cheetos and stuff.
Yeah, I don't like that. I like the Doritos as well. I like Sun Chips, to be honest with you.
But Sun Chips are awful for you too.
But
Isn't that crazy?
This is one of those things, right, where they go, oh, we can't get rid of your glyphosate. You have to have 500 different flavors of chips. You have to have it, don't you? Oh.
I mean, look, America's food problem is bigger than this aisle, guys. Like everybody knows these chips. You got the candy, you got the soda. And you know,
people
those
live
are
off it though.
Well, I mean, they do, and they know it's unhealthy that they really consume. But you can see that problem. This one is just like, all right, I know that. But the harder part to spot are those ingredients that are in things like granola bars, the breakfast cereal, the zero sugar drinks, like the Diet Cokes, all that stuff. I mean, the snack is covered in like this green packaging. You got like Nature Valley. It's like the best stuff in the world, natural. But I mean, once the food stops looking like junk, people think, oh, well, somebody checked it. They made sure like this is actually healthy for me.
Humans can eat it.
Yeah.
It's safe for humans.
Yeah. And they say, oh, well, the ingredients have been tested and you know, this label has to mean something. And they assume that anything truly dangerous would just be like it wouldn't make it on the shelf. You would think that the politicians and the government and the system we have in place is like, hey, we wouldn't do that to you guys. We're making sure we got the FDA. We're taking care of you guys. So this is where the story starts, guys. Go ahead and pull up this graphic of the ultra processed foods chart. It's still in that same one. You can stay there.
Oh, it's just over on the next tab.
Yeah, and you should be able to just.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I got you. All right. So these are the ultra.
Not that one.
Foods.
I think it's the next one.
The next one. Gotcha.
Yeah, zoom in. Zoom in on that baby. Guys, true stats here.
All right.
And you can scroll up and down on this. I think.
Here they can see it this way.
All right. So look at where we're at. 58% of the food of the average American's diet is ultra processed food. 58%. Right. I mean, you got to understand. Let's talk about what ultra processed actually means. And then you'll that number will definitely make more sense. So typically when you're talking about food, processing is normal. You know, freezing a fruit is considered processing. You got to can some beans. That's also processed. But like ultra processing takes that process further, in which, you know, a factory breaks food into like cheap parts like starches and oils and syrups and protein powders
into like a chemical equation.
So it's like not the natural way that you would find that particular ingredient or substance, right?
Right.
And so, I mean, in plain English, ultra processed just means like factory rebuilt food, and it lasts longer, it tastes stronger, and it's designed to keep it easy.
Hyper palatable.
Yes. 100%.
Hyper palatable foods.
No, you're right. And it's designed to be easy to keep eating. So, I mean, this is literally part of our American diet, guys. And so let's look at what gets added during this ultra processing. And I had to just really grapple with the fact that so many countries have things banned that we don't have banned. Now you're gonna have to zoom in real close on that.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna figure it out here.
And then scroll up to the top.
How do I do that?
Here, I'll show you.
Yeah, here. Go ahead and
I'll probably roll
this
this
one.
one.
This one's a little bit tricky here.
Okay. So, guys, I'm gonna pull this up for you guys. This is gonna be a tight graphic here. Okay.
Oh, cute and cuddly.
All right.
Potassium bromate.
All right. So, and you should be able to not scroll but drag down.
If you want to drag it, I can read a few.
All right. So we got 12 chemicals and additives that are consumed in America that are banned in other countries. We got the first one, which is
potassium bromate, a strong oxidizing agent used to strengthen dough and give it an appealing white color. Oh, so to cover up the lies. Other names: bromic acid, potassium salt, and that's banned in Canada, most of South America, China, and the EU as well.
That's in your pizza, dough, cookies, chips,
carcinogen,
cake,
butylated hydroxylanolose, BHA, and butylated hydroxytoluene. That's not even
three words we can't even pronounce, baby. I love it.
I can't even tell the chemicals in it based off what it's named. And then the National Toxicology Program says it's reasonably anticipated to be a carcinogen. Right. So that's in your Nabisco, your Kellogg's, your Nestle. It's a preservative, right? They're preserving you, but not really. They're trying to kill you.
Then we got vegetable oil.
Bromated vegetable oil, a mixture of plant-derived triglycerides that contains bromine, used to keep flavors from separating in citrus soft drinks. It is also used as flame retardant. Oh,
flame retardant in your Mountain Dew, guys.
Yeah, you got my Mountain Dew, my flame retardant. I'm fireproof now.
You can't set me on fire. I'm flame retarded.
I'm flame retarded. Okay, citrus flavored drinks. It's been found to irritate membranes and can cause memory loss.
I bet you that stuff's in Sunny D too.
That's cute. Okay, and then we got the ractopamine, feed additive used to promote leanness in animals. If you ever ate that Jenny O bacon, you're eating that stuff.
Jenny O bacon. I used to eat their turkey bacon.
Yeah, me too. Serious adverse effects in animals: death, high stress, lameness, broken limbs, hyperactivity. May affect the cardiovascular system in humans. How nice. That's banned like all over the East.
All over.
Not allowed. Brilliant Blue, who had those M&Ms. Hell yeah. Synthetic compound used to color foods. Allergic reactions. That's banned in Europe. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. It's cotton candy.
Red
starch.
40. That's the stuff they make out of oil. It's colored red. Implicated in allergies and worsening behavior in children. It's like it's like neuroactive. It's like a neurotransmitter. It's really bad.
Oh yeah.
And yellow 5 and 6. Got that. I've
never been able to eat these, man.
Yeah, I don't like them.
I've eaten a lot of bad things in my life, but I'll never eat these.
Well, that's like one of the brands, along with like I think it's Bambino or something like that. The one with the bear on it. That the Mexicans just love that. You pull up. I have lived in Texas my entire life. Okay, and I've been going to gas stations since I was little. They love it. They love it.
I haven't had Peeps in forever. As a kid, they used to just give us those for what was it, Easter? Yeah, they used to give us those little no, they're like little duckies or something like that.
And look at this: azodicarbonamide, AZA, chemical substance used as a whitening agent in dough conditioner, linked to asthma and potential cancer risk. What? And that's in Jimmy Dean, Pillsbury. I ate that bread, that Arnold bread. I ate that all the time. Good grief. That's why I'm so retarded now.
Let's go. It keeps getting better, guys.
All right. Artificial growth hormone, possible link to increased risk of cancer, adverse health effects. Canada, it's banned. Europe, it's banned. Australia, it's banned. That's not good. Then we got the Olean. It's a food substitute used to lower calories and other high-fat foods. It's widely used in the 1990s, but has lost popularity. Used in Pringles and Lay's, chips, crackers, salad dressings, frozen yogurt. You want a little, your stomach hurts. That's good. Your food makes you sick. So it makes you sick, so you're a good boy and you don't eat. Right? That's what that means.
Dude, imagine trying to eat healthy with a salad dressing and then understand this is in it. Some carcinogens.
Yeah, you should just eat the cheeseburger. Honestly, it's probably safer for you. Parabens, a class of preservatives used in cosmetics and pharmaceuticals, inhibits mold and blah, 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 bacteria. Endocrine disruption. So disrupts sex hormones, may act as a very weak estrogen. Probably mean that. Here's what that means. If you have that when you're a kid, it makes your dick smaller and it makes you more like a woman. So we're all transitioning now. We're all full.
We're all in our
Crazy.
transition. We're transitioning now, so that's cool. We're all doing that.
Dude, Cetaphil, I used to use their face wash, man, and they've got they also have the face moisturizer too.
Yeah, trying to disrupt your
Hey, Austin, buddy, gonna have to pick a new one.
Yeah, it's time to move on.
Time to move on from them Land O'Lakes.
It's time to move on. You should have known when it was a white lady as a Native American that it wasn't to be trusted. Should have known. Okay, all right.
Pink slime.
This is like the iconic.
What?
You know, you always heard about like McDonald's and stuff and like why you shouldn't eat there. It's a pink slime is a meat product used to bulk up meat products. They also like to glue the meat together now.
Crazy.
It is created from scraps and trimmings that have been processed and cleaned with ammonia. And that's banned in Canada and the EU, right? So it's essentially like slop.
And in Asia, they just don't even eat. In countries like India, they don't even eat. What is it? They don't even eat beef.
This is like a Western style.
Yeah, this is a Western.
Very, very Western thing. Okay.
Freaking believable, guys.
All right.
How are we feeling about this? These are all brands that, like, as a kid, your parents just buy whatever, right? It's not like something that you are.
You don't know.
You don't know. You just get whatever is supposed to be. And if homemade meals were supposed to be the thing, imagine the cafeteria food, bro.
Right.
I already knew something was up when the pizza's sitting here flopping like this and nothing's moving.
Right. And it's like, well, why are they giving us, the option to get Chick-fil-A in second grade? Maybe that isn't, the best idea. Maybe I should be eating a vegetable, pickle is a vegetable. That's what they say. Got ketchup. That's a vegetable. They classify ketchup as a vegetable.
No way.
Yeah. That's how they got away with some of that stuff. Like, and it was really bad. And like, here's the thing. The lunches got worse under Michelle Obama, but they did remove some of the insane shit. Like it was pretty crazy. Like some of the vending machines were nuts. The Oreos,
I remember
the children eating the Oreos, the third graders running around eating candy. Like that's how we are where we are as a country.
Crazy. Okay, so
What's next?
Look, we'll be going into the regular stuff here, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. You can get the RFK clip ready to go. So, let's look at this, right? So we got all those lists of artificial dyes. Oh yeah, we don't have premium.
Gotta get it again.
We've got the artificial growth hormones, all those types of things, and the countries are banning them, but somehow we're allowing them to stay alive here. So the important question now is like, okay, well, the parts of the governments are looking at the same substances and they're reaching different conclusions. How is that even possible? Okay. How can one ingredient remain? It's not like they're any smarter than us.
Right.
How is it the fact that they're able to ban that stuff and we can't do that? So this brings us to what I call this the gatekeeper. And it's basically the people who allow the ingredients to get onto a shelf. So we have this thing called GRAS. Have you ever heard of that?
No, what's that?
It's called generally recognized as safe. It's something that the FDA does.
That's cute.
So it lets an ingredient skip the normal approval process when experts consider it safe. Okay? So they're not testing it. They're like, well, the expert says it should be safe. We just won't test it. We just trust you guys. Now that sounds reasonable, but we gotta look at who are the experts. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's pull up this clip. We'll play it from the beginning. It's fine. Muted.
Yeah.
Food safety is on the menu during a meeting between Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and some of the nation's major food brand CEOs. Kennedy skewered the chemicals generally recognized as safe that keep on making it into our food supply, shamed the food industry for its hand in adding all of those controversial additives. News Nation Now weekend anchor Anna Koyman joins us with more. Anna, RFK basically came forward, to these people and said, the buck stops here.
Yep, we're learning a lot more about this GRAS program. Markey, good morning to you. The Food and Drug Administration has been put on notice by their boss this week, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., sending a strong message to the government agency after meeting with CEOs from big food corporations, including Kellogg, PepsiCo, General Mills, Kraft, Tyson, and Smuckers. His order, it is time to tighten up loopholes and overhaul the way ingredients are getting approval to enter our American food supply. Kennedy says that for decades, the government has been allowing big food companies to, in his words, poison Americans with legal ultra-processed food ingredients that are not independently tested by government bodies. RFK Jr. reminding the public on social media to understand what's good and bad in our foods.
This is a list of ingredients from foods: carrageenan, riboflavin, monosodium glutamate, and 20 others that I can't pronounce.
Well, food activists have slammed a government policy called GRAS. So this is the generally recognized as safe policy because it allows companies to self-certify the safety of food additives. We talked to a doctor who has served in advisory roles to both the FDA and the USDA. Dr. Darren Detweiler says under GRAS, the companies are not required to alert the FDA when they use some chemicals and substances in their food products.
There is no equivalent to the GRAS program, for instance, in the European Union. There are strict compliance and testing protocols, and the transparency and the way in which companies have to go through a process to prove that their ingredients are worthy of being, considered to be their equivalent of generally regarded as safe. We just don't have that here.
Dr. Darren Detweiler says that.
Sorry, I had us muted.
Yeah, I mean, look, what do you think about that? Because the FDA, I thought that was their main role, their main responsibility was, hey, we are doing our due diligence to make sure that the things that are in your food that you're consuming are safe.
I think it's the key thing where you look at Food and Drug Administration, right? And what happens with the drugs? We know a lot of these medications are on record bad for you, but they'll still get pushed to you, right? Because who funds the studying of the drugs? The pharmaceutical companies. In kind of the same way, I'm guessing here, but I'm betting there's kind of probably backdoor funding for food products as well.
Oh, you were not wrong, my friend.
We're
we're going to talk about the GRAS. There's 400. So this is what the researchers did. They traced 451 of these GRAS safety decisions. Here's the numbers, guys. It's going to shock you. 22% came from employees of the manufacturer. You had 13% that came from consultants selected by the manufacturer. And then you had nearly 2/3 come from panels selected by the manufacturer or the consultant who was also selected by the manufacturer.
It's a giant circle. It goes around and around and around.
Give me a better definition of a circle jerk. I'll wait.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
They're professionals.
Right? So, I mean, every route leads back to the company selling the ingredient, and they're basically the ones saying, it's safe, sir. You don't have to worry about this one. Our experts said this is fantastic and it's good for the people. So you just let those kiddos keep eating them Twinkies. Crazy.
It's a thing. It's good for him. He's a growing boy. He's got the calories and the nutrition he needs. Sure, it might come from a snack designed to survive the apocalypse on the planet, but it's what he needs right now. He's pre-diabetic. He's not diabetic right now. That's kind of the argument a little bit. Mama, can I please have more? Can I please have more candy? Can I please have it? Well, he wants to eat more. He's a patriot. He wants to support American companies. It's an American company you're supporting, young man, by eating that candy bar.
That is hilarious. Yeah, it says pre. So yeah, you're not diabetic yet, so we don't have to worry about it, guys. Exactly. Don't worry. Keep on keeping on.
It's a future problem, not a problem for right now.
All right. So now let's talk about guys, this has been going on, not even just since today, but this has been going on from our grandparents' era in the 1960s.
Oh, dude, they were the ones that first got tested on. Maybe that's why it's a little bit of loco behavior.
It's probably I have
think about that.
I didn't research this. I don't know whether it was worse back then or whether it was it's better now.
From the perspective of the general food quality, I think our general food quality is worse. The micronutrients being depleted and GMOs and stuff like that. Dude, they used to spray. My last year of science in high school, I remember learning about the forever chemicals, the fluorinated hydrocarbons. Maybe you're familiar with some of these nasty things. And all of us, right now, if me and Tim went to go give blood, if I could find it in our blood, right now.
Yeah,
it's in everybody.
Yeah,
right. So you have to think about that. They were literally crop dusting the boomers.
That and then the microplastics were found in most people. There's a lot of stuff that's like that.
98% of people have the microplastic.
Crazy.
98%.
So I mean, dude, the in the 1960s, scientists were debating whether sugar or fat played a larger role in heart disease.
There's like spraying chemicals, like.
Well, dude, look, the sugar industry had a thing or two to say about it. Let's go ahead and pull up this clip on number 5. Yeah, and we're just gonna see what.
Hi, I'm Kalina. Today,
all right. If I ever show an advertisement, do not buy the product that they are selling. We do not support the terrorism of YouTube ads.
We do not. Okay, guys, you just watch this.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is the sugar industry in the 1960s and what they did. And a lot of the reason why I'm showing this, it starts here and it gets worse and it becomes a more sophisticated problem. But these are the campaigns. And honestly, they did this even to us in our growing generation, just in more subtle ways as well. Go ahead.
Look, I do whatever Shoddy asked me to do. I just want to say that. Okay, this is a different era, a different time.
What makes a woman look good in the kitchen?
While the U.S. sugar industry stepped up its ad campaign to sweeten our palates in the 1960s,
Cherry cheese pie from bags of Imperial pure cane sugar.
it was quietly paying the country's top Ivy League school to discredit evidence of the health risks of sugar. Codenamed Project 226, the industry was funneling thousands of dollars to a pair of influential Harvard nutritionists, led by Dr. Mark Hegstead. One secret memo spells out the terms of the payoff: half to be paid when you start work on the project, and the remainder when you inform us that the article has been accepted for publication. The scientists
Minor technical error there. Minor little issue. I bumped the mouse. We got to get 2 mice again, of course. And then we also got to just make sure we don't.
Nah, you're good. You're good.
All right, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and play it again. Apologies.
Let's rewind.
and instead
That's fine.
start work on the project, and the remainder when you inform us that the article has been accepted for publication. The scientists' job was to review and dismiss findings that linked high sugar consumption to heart disease, and instead blame saturated fat and cholesterol, giving sugar a free pass. In one memo, Hegstead responds to the sugar.
Come back to us real quick. So, you know, I just had an epiphany as I'm watching this, and I'm looking at like this Dr. Mark Hegstead.
Right.
You know, like I'm taught, or I guess people who kind of grew up a specific way were taught that like people like your dad or like people who like watch InfoWars, everything that came out of that ecospace, and I guess you could say the caliber of people that like to keep themselves informed are just automatically labeled as conspiracy.
You're a nutball.
Yeah, you're a nutball. And honestly, it just reminds me eerily similar of like the COVID stuff and like how people are questioning like Fauci. And, you know, all this stuff is making me realize you really do have to second guess. Now, it doesn't mean you have to go down the rabbit hole and say, well, it's the aliens that came down and beamed us up to space and they changed our taste buds or something like that. But there is some truth, or there's a piece of the equation. There's some smoke there. There's some smoke that leads to the fire.
The thing is like, here's another example. There's some truth to the idea that you eat a really like horrible, like high fat diet and you have a lot of inflammation and stuff that could also give you heart disease if you're prone to it, right? There's data to suggest that. But that reality being a reality versus the reality of, oh, instead of eating, you know, fatty foods, you're going to eat our chemical slop. And then this is going to be better for you because we're scientists and we say so. And keep in mind, when they introduced all these new foods, it's like maybe not even a half century away from like the invention of the car, right?
Yeah.
So like you think about it like that. And you could say, yeah, there's some traditional issues to the way that like human diets like have repercussions for like body and health. But we kind of subbed out a natural system, which had some flaws, some problems. What we had literally been eating for thousands of years. And we're like, we're just going to make a chemical goo out of petroleum.
Yeah. And
we're going to eat it.
And by the way, guys, this isn't like a Republican or a Democrat
No,
thing.
no.
Dude, every administration is
in on it.
allowing this stuff to go on. Right?
Total corporate capture.
Someone I saw a chat up there that said they grew up on like margarine. Do you know what that is, right?
Yeah, of course.
Dude, I thought that was butter when I was a kid. My mom used to exclusively cook with that stuff because it was just cheaper and that's what we could afford.
Right.
And she even thought that was butter too.
Right.
I had no idea that like every single day I'm basically like consuming oil the pure form of oil. And then once I started tasting the difference between butter and that stuff, it was like night and day.
And see, that's something, and certainly not your mother doing everything she can for you, but that's something just as a society that we had taken from us, right? That we were told it isn't that butter is more expensive. Butter's mildly more expensive. Butter's cheap, right? Especially back in the day, right? Like comparatively, talk about the margarine, talking about something that's like 20 cents. Okay.
Well, it was a difference between $1 and we would make the dollar decision.
That's what I'm saying is like you have literally, I think cottonseed oil, the original seed oil was like submarine lubricant. And they were like, we have like, this is so cheap that we can like, it'll undercut anything and people will use it. So that's the real insidious nature of the diet, is that instead of subsidizing healthy foods, we subsidize the evil food. You see what I'm saying?
Crazy.
And then that becomes the only option for you, not just from a price perspective. The government's forcing that on you. Like that's in anything where the company is selling you something. Keep in mind, if I was out here, I said Dreamwave PM, it does not do this. Dreamwave PM, it will cure your Alzheimer's. It'll make you go away. They will put me in jail. They'll put me in jail, and they will sue me. Okay,
but if you had a lobby.
Right. Oh, and then it's all good.
And you had the expert that you paid to make the claim as a doctor.
Right.
And you had the end to a politician. You might be able to make that claim.
And it's literally the same thing. We just read carcinogens off on a list, and it's legal here. Right. So and here's the thing. And I know we're going to get into Kennedy and more of the clip. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. won a $270 million lawsuit against Monsanto, proving that non-Hodgkin's lymphoma was caused by glyphosate. Okay, you don't pay someone $270 million when they're wrong. It's just like the Iran war. Like
glyphosate. Remind people of what that is?
Sure. So glyphosate is an analog of the amino acid glycine, and glyphosate is used in Roundup. Right, that's what Roundup is, and that's sprayed on 1/3 of all American fields for weed control. Right. So they have this bullshit argument. They go, it's only used on 3% of the fields. Sure, for the drying process, but generally this is used everywhere. Right. So it's something that we use 280 million pounds of it a year.
I need more.
Don't tell me it's inconsequential. Right. I don't want to hear it. So the thing that makes it so dangerous, being an analog of the amino acid glycine, Tim, is what you use to make all of your collagen for your tendons, your connective tissue, everything really important. Right. So there is a theory, and there's conflicting studies on this. So I'm not a scientist, certainly, or a researcher. I'm just giving like what I've read and what seems to be probable. If it's an analog for the thing that you use to make all the collagen in your body, wouldn't it be possible, if not probable, that might get, I don't know, misfolded in some proteins and stay in you a little bit? And if it's carcinogenic, right, if it causes cancer, doesn't that seem like a fucking problem?
Rex, you're being racist.
I know,
Stop
dude.
it.
I gotta not be so racist.
God, I keep trying to tell this guy when we come on, I'm like, dude, I need you to not be racist for the day.
I need to donate more money to Israel, and then it'll be all right. I've done everything I can, but here's the thing. They say that I'm racist. They say I'm orange. I can't be racist.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Okay, so now let's finish the rest of this clip out. It just gets crazy from here.
Sure. Association, we are well aware of your particular interest and will cover this as well as we can. The findings would be published in a top medical journal.
It was such a prestigious institution with such an impeccable record, Harvard University, and that it was the New England Journal of Medicine.
So I took this paper and crossed out where it said tobacco and put in sugar.
Schmidt is part of a University of California team that uncovered Project 226 and the documents at Harvard's med school library. The California professors have spent years unearthing revelations about the sugar industry's deep influence on public policy with its simple message.
Don't worry about sugar. Focus on cholesterol and fat. That really shapes the scientific agendas for scientists. It may even shape funding agendas.
That message left out the risks of high sugar diets, which are now being blamed for the obesity crisis. And today there is growing scientific consensus sugar could play a larger role in heart disease risk than fat and cholesterol.
The problem is bigger than this. It's about all of the food industry influencing federal government policy.
This lawyer says blatant conflicts of interest persist today in Canada. Coke has poured millions into funding research that says exercise, not diet, is the best way to fight obesity. And that's just one example of Canada's.
All right, so Tim, all right, me and you, we both went to the movie theater as kids, right?
Oh, yeah.
You went to the movie theater. I also went to the movie theater. Great American shared experience there. think about those psychotic Coke ads where it'd be pouring it into the cup.
Oh,
you know what
yeah,
I'm talking
yeah,
about? The must obey Coca-Cola, must drink Coca-Cola
And you hear that.
products. Dude, it literally, they push it like it's a drug. Is there any difference, Tim?
Oh, and it's not even just here. They have a chokehold on the rest of the world as bad as McDonald's. Dude, people in South America, like, they exclusively drink Coke as like it's water.
Yeah.
Because they had their campaigns doing the exact same thing. But just imagine, hey, we need to do some research. And Coke is like, hey, I'll do that for you. I'll pour in a couple $1 billion and just and I won't lie about the cause. And our researchers have found out it's actually not about it's actually about exercise. It has nothing to do with diet.
Keep in mind, your liver can only process 78 grams of fructose sugar a day.
Wait, really?
Yes. All right. So
that's crazy.
After that point, it starts to instantly store it as fat, either in your fat tissue or just on the liver itself. That's how you get a fatty liver. That's why I fasted. That's why now, like, you see me, I'm metabolically healthy.
Okay,
again.
that was news to me.
Yeah.
Because one of these small drinks, it's like 20, 30 to 50 grams of extra sugar.
Yeah, a little can is like 28 grams.
Wow.
So, like, you got to think about it and think about it from like a drug perspective. An ounce is a lot. Okay, like, you're putting a drug in your body. You put the sugar as white powder. It's literally what it is. No pills, no powders. I think that's
insane.
a good rule. But this is triggering me, Tim. I'm getting PTSD from the movie theater. I want it now. Like, it makes me want the Coca-Cola because I was programmed as a child to crave it.
Yep.
Wow. All right, you want to keep playing, or
yeah, a little bit left.
Food Expert Advisory Committee, in which about half of the members of the advisory committee are either representatives of the food industry or have investments in it or consult with it.
The lead Harvard scientist in Project 226 went on to work for the U.S. government to help draft dietary guidelines, which for decades resisted daily limits on sugar. As for the U.S. Sugar Association, it admits it should have been transparent about those payments to Harvard, but insists that doesn't mean the research is tainted.
Wait, pause. Yeah, good cover.
We should have told the truth, but it doesn't matter now.
I love how you're in my brain because I was immediately going to that exact voice. Come on now.
Gotta believe.
We forgot, but that don't mean the sugar is bad.
Come back to us.
Sweet. It's a sweet sugary substance that may or may not cause cancer, but it's all right.
We saw we got this one wrong, but you should still keep doing the same thing. We would never lie to y'all.
I mean, here's the thing. Look how happy that child looks running around all fat. All right. Now, sure, he can't do PE, he can't walk, but he's participating in the American system. Like, they're like, okay, you caught us shadow funding this study, but it doesn't matter because the study says we're good.
Mm-hmm.
So like, and here's the thing: is like, and you know this from being somebody that's college educated. The methodology of a study matters so much. That is literally everything, especially with human metabolism, human body. There are so many variables to control. Like, and that's why, like, the most common group they do studies on of injured people, it's people with knee surgery, right? Because they can't move. So you got them essentially. So like, there's infinite ways to kind of skew things. Is what I'm saying.
It's all about it's all about the subjectivity and the lens that you look at it with, which is why, like, some people will come on to a show or they'll just be on the internet and they'll be like, well, there's this study that said this X, Y, and Z, and that's as far as they will go.
Right?
They won't peel a layer back to see, okay, is this a true consensus across multiple studies? Is this something that has a conflict of interest where that company has interest within that research, just like we're seeing with the sugar industry? Well, it's hard to get answers. They uncovered this after 60 years, dude.
Right. I trust a meta-analysis sometimes, because sometimes even the meta-analysis, which is a conglomeration of studies, it's been viewed to be like accurate. Even those can be cooked. So I don't know. Are we done with this one?
Yeah, we're done with this one. Just imagine though, if this is how long it took us to uncover this and go through the receipts, what else is going on right now or within the last 20 years that we just don't understand or has been happening or is currently still happening? That stuff makes me think.
I'm going to blow your mind a little bit here. This is a whole nother deep dive topic to do.
Yeah.
The lab grown meat stuff, that all comes from the cancer cells of a black lady who never had the cells die. Like, they've been infinitely replicating forever. My dad talks about this on the show all the time.
Yeah, I gotta look into that.
I'm 100% telling the truth.
Disgusting.
She had cancer. She died. They grow her cells in a vat. They never die. It's like it's like infinite cancer.
And suddenly I'm supposed to want to eat that meat.
Yeah, like I know it sounds like science fiction, but I swear it's true.
Hey,
like that's where we are.
Well, if Daddy Bill Gates says it's good for me, then I should.
But this is a whole other topic. But like he says, oh, I put out millions of mosquitoes, but they're all sterile. And it's like, well, where's the government guy with a clipboard watching your ass? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not. There's no oversight. It doesn't exist. They play God on all of us as guinea pigs. And they're not allowed to do that.
Hey, if you guys want context,
go ahead.
What this job and the previous job, I've worked very closely with the government and government 3-letter agencies. First one, Secret Service, because the fact that we were working on their engines and stuff. And the second one, I literally work with the FDA right now. What should I say here?
We love the Food and Drug Administration. It is so good.
Man, when I tell you guys, also the FAA. When I tell you guys these inspections and like the people that come in are not as thorough as you would think, and it really relies heavily on the fact that they are trusting the company to give them the right things or to like it. And by the way, sometimes the inspections don't happen like year after year. We didn't get an inspection for like 7 years, and this stuff was going into people's arms.
I guess we have a common experience then, because I've seen FDA inspection as well. Back at the old warehouse, we were selling the Colloidal silver, right? I've seen that go down. So like, you're right. They do make a lot of mistakes.
They do make a lot of mistakes. And by the way, like, you know, we're working on the president's engines, and the guy's like chopping it up with somebody, right? You could easily have somebody go in, do something.
God forbid. God forbid.
I just don't send the black truck. I'm just saying this didn't happen.
Right.
And this is obviously that plane is still flying, so there's nothing wrong. Okay. But somebody could have done something while that person wasn't paying attention, or like they're normal ass people.
We have a Chungus attitude as a country. We're like, well, nothing bad ever happens to us. And then that's the whole reason why our food supply is destroyed, is because we believed in the goodwill of these companies enough to be like, yeah, we trust you. Make something that people are putting in their body every day forever. You'll figure it out.
Right. And just, I want you guys to think about this. Imagine you coming in to do an inspection.
Right.
You have mountains of paperwork and processes you have to go through. And they normally come in like teams of like 2 or 3, sometimes more. But like just even a 3-man team spending a whole week at a facility and trying to consume everything. They don't look at everything. They can't look at everything. It's impossible for them to comb through every single process. You're normally focused on like one area, and then they work backwards from there. That's kind of really how it goes. But we'll keep going here. So
we got RFK Jr. 6.
Yeah, we're coming in. We're coming in hot. So look,
discover the ads are insane. It didn't used to be like this, man.
Yeah, well, YouTube has now become a new monster where they are making more money, and you can't even skip like 60-minute ads now. It's crazy. I mean, 60-second ads.
Dude, I'm such a YouTube sell. Like I love YouTube so much. I pay for premium. But we gotta do that for the show.
So let's talk about this. You're gonna go to
no.
You're gonna go to 917 on this. No, you're here.
I got you.
Go to 917. So I mean, processed food. You know, it rarely calls itself processed food. It says natural. You got whole grain. You got zero sugar,
enriched flour,
high protein.
Yeah,
made with real fruit. There's that one. And so like the positive claim can make people feel like, ooh, there's this like healthy halo of like effect here that I can really trust this thing. But just once you start to understand that the package is just trying to earn your trust, it ain't that sweet, guys. Let's go ahead and play this.
All right. By the way, at the tennis club or at the hotel, like waiting to play in like a tournament or whatever, when you're out of town, like this is what we're all eating. That we're all eating this food. I assume for basketball, it was quite the same.
I used to think Sun Chips were healthy. My mom used to pack me a nice little thing of those.
Wow.
It used to be like, oh, well, they're not Doritos.
Dude, I used to slam Oreos on the court.
Oh,
all right,
crazy. Look at that. Oh, I eat stovetop too. Damn, they got everything.
Yup.
Can't even have no stuffing.
I'm more a hamburger helper guy.
And I like Cheez-Its too, man.
Cheeses are good, bro. They're bad. Oh,
they're
no.
bad, but they're so good. Crazy. I mean, Sun Chips, I mean, the Nature Valley looks like the most healthiest out of there, but obviously we know that's not true.
Well, the thing is, like, really quick, I know we got the clip, but just from a metabolic perspective, you got to think about it like this. There is no fiber. There is hardly any protein. There is a crap ton of carbohydrate, a crap ton of fat, and more importantly, the carbohydrate is refined sugar, right? So what this is going to do is spike your insulin. And over time, as you eat more and more of this stuff, you become insulin resistant. Insulin is your body's main storage hormone, okay? That's where the macronutrients get their transport from, or get the signal to like cause growth in tissues. Like they get funneled to different places, right? So if you're insulin resistant, not only will you not be able to use carbs efficiently to work out or just feel good during the day, you become pre-diabetic, you start storing all excess energy, not just as subcutaneous fat, as visceral fat around your organs. That's where the beer belly comes from. That's why I had a beer belly and still do a little bit, but not really anymore, because of the sugar I wasn't drinking. Literally, it was just from the sugar, because it's called NAFLD, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And 1 in 4 Americans has it, by the way.
1 in 4. That's
1 in 4 Americans has it, and it's because of foods like, I know we're coming out with a timestamp. That's food that's technically energy. They're making cheap energy, right? They're cutting corners to make cheap energy that doesn't actually work, because technically it's a calorie. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
But yeah,
guys, I'm at a loss. Like, as I was researching this stuff, I'm like, dude, like it's even more cooked, because I just knew the surface level of like, oh, we've got bad stuff. I didn't know how bad it was. How can you be funding both sides of the equation here, where you're literally like, we got to stop diabetes. It's killing the people.
Well, how can we fund both sides? We declare war on it. Of course, we're going to fund both sides. What we do. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, we declare war on it, so we have to fund both sides.
It's like literal war, though. It's like you've got to stir the wars to stop the wars, to create more wars, so that somebody keeps making more money. My brain hurts so much when I'm just like, hey, has common sense just left the building? Are morals just out of the building at this point? Like, who? I don't even know what to say about these things half the time.
Yeah, I don't either.
It was breaking my brain just trying to comprehend the fact that all of this stuff is completely preventable, but it comes down to 2 things: greed and money. And maybe one more thing, more greed. So now
I'm not greedy. I prioritize the most important people, me and my family. Of course. How could you ever say I'm greedy?
Yeah, that 1.4 billion that he had to disclose.
I think it's like 2.2, man.
Oh, it might have been 2.2 that he disclosed on his financial statements.
Do you want to play RFK?
Well, that's the second video coming up. So so let's just talk about this. I mean, this problem doesn't just stop at packaged foods. I mean, it's very obvious answers to be like, okay, well, we should just avoid the packaged food, eat the whole food, and that's the safest direction. And you got the fruits, the vegetables, the meat, the eggs, the basic foods that should make up more of our diet. And so, I mean, the problem there is the industrial system also reaches the farms that are producing that kind of food. Okay. Right. So you got farm workers that can face heavy pesticide exposure. You've got fertilizer that moves in the groundwater. You've got runoff that affects nearby communities and drinking waters. And, you know, an apple is still better than a bar of candy. Let's not get this wrong. But I mean, the concern is that the system can expose people to things that hit you before the apple even reaches the store. And this is exactly why, you know, you had this Maha promising to confront this for the farmers, and we're going to do the things by the American people. And so, like we talked about, Maha means make America healthy again. They just love these slogans, man.
It's effective.
It is.
Yeah,
It is effective. You're right.
AEI, or I don't even know my vowels anymore. Good group. AEIOU. You know, these little jingles you learn about the consonants and stuff. It sticks in your head.
The one that sticks in my head that almost I feel like didn't start it, but like was the beginning of all that was, I think Obama had "Yes, we can." Was kind of like
absolutely,
that was the one that stuck, and then after that you had MAGA.
Well, you have to look at it because MAGA, in a lot of ways, we often show that White House Correspondents' Dinner in 2012. It was like like a bizarro Obama in a way. It's like the slogan earring has always been big in America, but really everyone had that hope and change bumper sticker. I remember that shit.
Yep,
I was like 6.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that was everywhere. But I mean, look, this Maha was basically the commission led by RFK Jr. His job was basically to figure out, okay, why is chronic disease rising, especially in children, and then turn those findings into a policy. So you got food additives, ultra processed foods, pesticides, chemical exposure. That was what RFK put all of it onto the table. And let's just see what he has to say about all this.
Well, I harvested the whale off the beach, and I extracted the brainstem, and it's a very rare delicacy written about in the Edo period of Japan. They don't do it anymore. If you don't know, he does like weird things like cooking like animals and stuff.
You guys understand the weight of that, of what he just said there. The job is not to regulate it, but now to make people informed that what's in the Rex, when you go and buy something, how often is the average person going to sit there and read a bunch of ingredients they don't understand?
Well, you're pointing this out. You're getting really racist right now. It's really racist to point out this obvious truth. No, do people completely ignore it, and they don't know any better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You kind of the brain doesn't do well when it has to process a bunch of information. That's why we delegate decisions, and you delegate decisions to entities and 3-letter entities that are supposed to fix this problem.
Right.
That's a big issue of what he just said there. That means he's not getting the job done, and something happened along the way, because what they wanted to do at the beginning of this was have true regulation, Rex.
Yeah.
True regulation.
Oh, dude, it was a complete... Dude, you can read the real Anthony Fauci, read that book, and then tell me that RFK is doing everything he wants to do right now. You can't. So, obviously, you want to call it getting the call or whatever it is. I think it really is just like we talk about various power groups like geopolitically and stuff. Here in America, the money is king, and the money literally dictates whether or not you survive up in Washington, D.C. And when you're RFK Jr. and you get this opportunity, it'd be like if you were the greatest college football player to ever live, right? And you broke your leg and your career ended. And then, 20 years later, they're like, hey, man, we need you to play in the Super Bowl, right? And but hey, if you do this, we're going to take a lot of steroids, and we're going to do amphetamines, and we're going to truck the other team. We're going to break all these rules. We're going to deflate the ball, do whatever. And he's like, well, my dad was the greatest Super Bowl champion to ever live, right? And I want to be just like him, and I never got my shot.
Yeah.
Don't I deserve it? Don't I deserve to be the Secretary of Health? Don't I deserve to make hey, maybe I can't do it all, but I can make them feel better, right? And that's something that means that I'm doing a good job, and that's the lie. That's exactly what it is. I guarantee.
100%, dude. Well said. I can't even phrase that any better. You're right. I mean, it is the posturing, and at this point, maybe he had good intentions when he went in there.
I think he did,
but
it's the same with everything. You can't do it. We're not allowed to make our lives better.
Mm-hmm. We'll play this
so-called food.
Wait, let me see something real quick. Yeah, we'll play it out.
Deserts with little access to.
Dude, those are actually like that's like the 4 horsemen of my apocalypse right there. Honestly, like I love cereal. I love what was the other one as well?
I think we had.
Hold on, let's just see that again.
Every American.
The
Lunchables.
Dude, I used to slam those. I used to eat those.
Consumer Brands Association told us.
Oh, Lucky Charms.
Here's the
I never liked these ones.
I used to steal all this food, and my dad would try to keep me from eating it, by the way. So it's not his fault. He was a good parent. As far as like he practices what he preaches, I would like steal gum from gas stations, because if he caught me trying to buy it, I'd get the belt. So,
look, innovate to meet consumer demand. This is a key distinction. I didn't catch this before.
Right.
Why would they need to meet consumer demand?
Well, you got to get the fat people addicted, and once they're addicted, you
exactly.
got to get more food.
You've created a flywheel for yourself, where you've literally created these addictive chemicals to basically fuel your demand, to then make more chemicals so that it can be crazy. What were you gonna say?
I am not blanking on that. So, it was I don't know. Whatever. It is on with the deep dive.
Yeah, it just blows my brain. I had a friend that had she got cancer at she's younger than me.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Well, we're kind of losing the war on cigarettes too, if you haven't noticed.
They're coming back strong.
Yeah, dude.
What is it with the drunk cig thing?
I don't know. And
I see a lot of girls smoking. I don't know what it is.
Well, it makes them hotter. So that's number one why they do it. But number two, like, it's just kind of like, get away with it, you know?
Yeah, the war on cigarettes. I mean, they just made it super expensive, but it used to be like disgusting to not consume the tobacco and the nicotine, and then it made way for the vapes and stuff like that. But
the vape was the complete change of the culture, because like if you take vaping into account, society is just like, you think about people lighting cigarettes back in the day. You're watching like Peaky Blinders, imagine them like vaping. You know, like it's literally like it's the same frequency.
And we're just waiting for that research to come out, what ends up hitting those people too, man. Because there's the coils, there's the carcinogens that probably that the fruity syrup that's in there to like to make it taste that way.
You may not vape, but when you're hanging out with her and she vapes and then she offers it to you, and what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to be rude,
dude.
Like, for real though.
No, I kid you not, to go on a tangent, bro. I would watch like people that I was in relationships. You'd watch people wake up in the middle of the night. Where's my vape? And like they would get so angry, so aggressive, the fact that they couldn't find the vape. And it's just like all of this plays into the whole addictive behavior. Yeah, Vape Nation, guys.
It's how you can tell Tim's just like a good human being. He's like, you don't have an addictive personality at all.
I don't. That is one thing I'm lucky about. Is
I definitely
do not have
do.
one.
So it's definitely a problem. But you know, there's blessings and curses that come with ADHD and things like this. Let's
okay, so let me talk about this real quick. So there's this article here that we're gonna read, which is about Maha and their latest dealings that they've done with the agriculture companies. I mean, the agriculture industry, and they count this one as a win. I don't count this as a win. Let's go ahead and read this real quick.
What are they claiming that they did?
You'll see. No, the freaking paywalls, man.
Washington Post.
Okay, all right. Give me one.
We can find it. You're hiding the screen for a second.
Okay, give us a second, guys. I was really hoping that you didn't reach your limit.
Yeah,
on the paywall here.
They're doing like, dude, I'm not going to pay someone $1 and give them my email so I can get hit with push notifications.
That's the only reason. Yeah. Okay.
It's like, we are a great American institution. It's like, okay, well, y'all suck so hard. I don't want to pay you $1. Like, have you thought about that? Yeah, that should be free. There you go.
Is this like the Washington Post? Oh, this might be. Let me see.
No, it's from last year.
October 6th. Same thing with this one, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it is. It's the same article. It's the same article.
Okay, perfect. All right, we will read this one.
Okay.
Thank God for people who are just copying and pasting the text.
All right, I got it. How big agriculture got its way in the latest Maha report. Alarmed by the first Maha Commission report, the agriculture industry mobilized to shape the next installment. These efforts seemingly paid off. HHS Secretary RFK Jr. has a reputation for bashing powerful corporate interest in his quest to make America healthy again, Maha. But one industry has eked out a win under Kennedy's Maha agenda, Big Ag. In May, the Trump admin's Maha Commission released a report raising questions about the health effects of two commonly used pesticides, glyphosate and atrazine. Atrazine is what turns the frogs gay. Okay. All right. And my dad's like Thanos. He's like, they called me a liar. Like, it's right here. Okay. So I'm going to keep reading it. The report's rhetoric frustrated powerful ag groups such as Crop Life America and the American Soybean Association, prompting them to launch a concerted lobbying blitz to promote the chemicals farmers rely on to produce large crops. According to interviews with industry officials, major trade groups scrambled to meet with White House officials. They urged the commission in a coordinated social media campaign to take a fact-finding approach. Oh, it's always that, like,
we wouldn't lie to you.
Dude, it's carpetbagger stuff. It's ridiculous. And sent letters to key federal departments. A top industry group helped coordinate a visit of Trump officials to a Maryland farm to see farming techniques in action. So that was like a bullshit tour. They take them on. It's like, learn how the cow gets milked. And it's like, okay, we're trying to take poison out of the food. It's not the same thing. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, how is that related? They're like, you want to go on a field trip and get paid $20,000? Like, sure.
I'll take that in a heartbeat. Right.
They're like, well, here's the thing. Here, come back to us really quick.
Yeah.
Let's do a little thing. Here's the thing, Mr. Senator. Sure, the atrazine, it might make makes the boy's balls a little bit smaller. Here's the thing. We got a beautiful cow had a beautiful farm. You got a beautiful ranch. Gonna take a picture of you with the cow, and then you're a farmer, and your voters that'll play well to the voters. Like that's literally what it is.
Yeah, the signaling.
Yeah, it's pretty.
You
wild.
gotta pace the farmer. You can't.
That's right.
These kids rely on this slot, man.
You're 100% right. Wow, I never thought of it that way before. I'm a great senator now, and literally they feel good about doing it. They make them like that little bullshit farm tour. It's a genjutsu, like Tim says. It's meant to hypnotize you.
Well, you just gonna think this is good for the people, y'all.
You're right about that. That's a good decision. I should poison the children and give them subsidies.
And that doesn't diminish the ones that are actually knowingly know that that it's actually bad for you.
Sure,
and are
but that's like the nicest thing you can say.
That is the nicest thing you can say.
Literally.
So I mean, look, guys, it is just kind of crazy. You know, they talk about when this. I mean, all right, so. They talk about the strategy and how it didn't even call out for restrictions on those pesticides. That's the key problem here. All right. So it promised to strengthen the public confidence in existing review system in the existing review system. And so this Crop Life America represents the pesticide manufacturers, and its CEO literally summed up the result in 3 words. We were heard. Right. And so the report literally created a threat, and the industry applied the pressure, and then the final plan came out a lot softer than it was supposed to be. And so then if you listen to RFK's answer, he's like, hey, you know, we're not about regulation, we're just letting people know that they just need to be informed. I just need to make sure that you can stay informed, and I can't lie anymore. I'm running out of my voice. Yeah, and it's like, look, I mean, he literally said regulation is not the plan, and that the government would just inform people, and that the shoppers should just decide. Figure it out, Karen.
Well, here's the thing. That could be a viable strategy if there was a big fat warning label on all the. You see what I'm talking about? Like, this will kill your ass. Like, if they put that,
that's exactly what we need.
That's the warning label that we need.
A KYO symbol. We'll make that a KYO with a triangle.
Yeah, with a burger on it. Yeah. But the thing is, like, Jack, he went to Mexico for a month to learn Spanish last year. And he came back with all these Mexican cigarettes, right? And on the Mexican cigarette, it's got like a photo of a fetus right there. Like, it's like, do not do this. There are consequences to do. Like, do not smoke while pregnant.
Yeah.
Right? See what I'm saying?
Yep.
So if we have that, or they have that for something that's harmful, why can't we have that for something that's harmful? That's still free market. They still get to sell it, right? Like, I want the products pulled. Like, I want it gone. I'm a food.
I'm okay if I don't get the Cheez-Its, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's okay. Like, I'll suffer. I'm okay with suffering that. But like, all right, here's the thing. We got to talk about like what we can actually do. We got to find a little white pill in this.
Sure, absolutely.
Somehow, some way.
For sure.
And so like, what can we do to make better choices without turning all the food into like a full-time job? Dude, it is. I'm not gonna lie, guys. It's very hard to figure out this whole equation, and just imagine the headache of every time you go in the store and having to read the back of every single label and figure out, well, what does this mean?
I try to do it now.
Chemical. It's hard.
I try to do it now.
So let's start with what you consume repeatedly. So, all right, we'll start with the basics: the soda, the cereal, the packaged snack that you eat every day. That gotta go. It's gotta go.
No bueno.
No bueno. It's just not good for you. We instinctively know. I know these things are addicting. As I tried to change my diet and start eating a healthier on a basis,
it's the sweats. Bad.
There's a craving. There's a craving that comes up inside of you,
right?
And it's super hard to discipline yourself. But that craving eventually goes away as you like go to sleep or you get distracted. But it's a really real thing, and it's hard.
Right.
I think yesterday I had like a craving for like to go down and get some froyo because it's like convenient right there.
Oh,
it's with some gummy worms and gummy berries. I was no, I will not.
Yeah, Jack got a pizza. I had a little bit of the crust, but I didn't have like the giant pieces of pizza that I could have had.
You're looking at that salivating.
I was looking at it like I'm not mad. I'm disappointed at myself. Like the pizza is a mirror that reflects me, and it's like a fat. of fat.
And it's normal, dude. And I consider myself, I just had blood work done. Like all my levels and everything were good. Like the only thing I didn't have was vitamin D, like just because I'm black. But everything else was great.
You're young, you're not fat.
But that I can't keep up with that as the decades keep going on. That's probably just because I'm young and I'm somewhat active, right?
Right. Our bodies are just so much more efficient, and the cellular cleanup pathways are so much better than somebody that's older. Like, so once you reach the age, specifically like over the age of like 40, 50 years old, you're dealing with, half a century worth of oxidative stress and like collective damage. So in reality, the thing is, and it's very important not let it be a cope when you're young, like I have, and just be like, whatever, it is what it is. Key thing is to realize, hey, whenever you start, tomorrow is the best day to start, or today. You know what I'm saying? Like fixing your life.
Small micro decisions.
Whether you're 18 and you're 300 pounds, you want to be fit, or whether, you're 70 years old and you want to lose your belly and you want to live another 20, 30 years, right? Like it matters for everyone.
Don't do it, Jim. Don't do it, Jim.
Shit, I'm getting ready to have Doritos with cheese, taco meat salsa. Ooh, it sounds good. Here's the thing. I like the number 6 from Taco Bell. Okay, so here's the thing. You're a patriot, and
this is a Taco Bell food.
This is an investigative journalist mission. So it's sanctioned by the authority of Rex.
I will track you down.
No,
as soon as you go to that drive-through, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna tell him no.
You take the food out of his mouth?
He's going to take his ass to the grocery store and he's going to get that salad.
Let's go. Here's the thing. Diet starts tomorrow, okay? Diet starts tomorrow.
Okay, so now the other things you can do.
I'm doing good. Look at me.
No, he's doing fantastic, I will say, guys. We've got other things you can do. So let's change the repeat foods first. So I know we talked about reading the back of the package is hard, but you should at least make kind of like an effort to just see like things like at least calories for one. Just a bunch of empty calories more often than not, and just like the things that's honestly what contributes to a lot of your to the fat among the sugar is like just empty calories. Like one Oreo is like 70 calories.
Right. It's the serving size. It's like alcohol, right? You have to drink. I would have to drink probably 10 to 12 beers to get like really messed up, but I can go drink a thing of vodka that's like this big and I'll be completely destroyed. Right. So it's concentrated.
Yeah.
And that's the process of the food is like, they literally, they have food scientists. They're like, we're going to cook up this new kind of like chip that also is chocolate covered and has like all these things on it to be addictive. Right. It's salty, it's sweet, and it's fatty.
Yeah.
And those are the things that your tongue is trained just evolutionarily to be like, these are rare in nature.
And
right.
Yep. And they made it fucking steroids. They literally spent years in labs to say like, how can we get people to just keep buying
gain of function food research.
So let's start checking the added sugar. Let's start checking the sodium, the fiber, and then, look at the ingredient list. Like, I mean, one long word doesn't make it something that's dangerous, but like you look at it more often, you're going to see several sweeteners, refined starches, artificial flavors, the food coloring, those types of things. Here's the thing. Here's what we got to start doing as a society. You got to build most of your meals around basic foods that you recognize. This is like the basic thing that you can do. And I know it gets a little hard because you talk about like the things that are on the pesticides and stuff. It gets hard, even if you can't like buy it locally in certain aspects, but at least don't consume the Doritos and the clear stuff, right? Let's start with building our nest egg around things like eggs. We got beans, we got meat, we got fish, we got rice, oats, potatoes, fruits, vegetables. I mean, frozen and canned food can be technically good choices, but it really depends on the processing and how that was done.
Right. No, like that's a whole another thing, right? Is like the whole craziness over like the strawberries and the whatever.
It's
like,
so hard. That's what's making it impossible, dude. You're right.
And you try to make the right decision because you're like, well, here's the thing about meat. Like I trust the meat, at least like especially you get it from somewhere good. Like I know the content and quality of it, especially if it's grass fed. But then if you're getting like any kind of vegetable at all, it's like, well, what's in these baby carrots that I'm buying? Like what's the deal with that? Oh, if I buy lettuce, Taco Bell's not using lettuce in their food right now because of the new parasite. So it's not only the poison, it's just like a completely, our food environment is very dangerous.
It is
very dangerous place to go to the grocery store.
Right. I mean, look, here's the point. You're not going to be able to chase perfection. It's going to be very hard, and regulation is going to have to catch up for a lot of these different things. I've heard organic. Sometimes this is where the propaganda comes back and forth. They say organic is not actually as organic as you would think. There's studies that say actually organic is safer in aspects, but you just do the very bare minimum things like washing your produce, vary your diet. Like don't let your fear push you away from fruits and vegetables. That is a core staple. No matter what's happening there, it's still going to be better than the ingredients you cannot pronounce within and like a full stack of them.
The vast majority of us are heavy, like we're too fat and we're not lean enough, and that creates problems for your hormones, problems for your mental state, problems for just longevity as well. And the thing about fruit and veggie is that you're getting something that's going to fill you up. Right. It's going to satiate you, satiety. That's also why protein is super important, because protein has a higher satiety factor than fat or carbohydrate, especially. Like we have to eat in a way to live. And plenty of people have said that, right? And not coming up with anything there. Just literally, we're trying to eat food so we can stay alive. We're a bioreactor, right? You have to put chemical, which is what the food is, just molecules, right? Chemical. You have to put it in your body so your body can function. You need 3 of these. You need the fats, carbohydrate, and then the protein, along with all the other micronutrients, of course.
And I know groceries are astronomical right now, and to buy healthy stuff is super expensive. I think the rule of thumb that I've found that works is like pretty much if you can pronounce it and it's a very clear like single ingredient or couple ingredients, generally it's going to be much safer for you. And sometimes we've got to sacrifice a little bit. Sometimes we have a little bit more in our budget if we were to cut out some of the extra sugary coffees that we get here and there, or like figuring out a way, okay, well, I still can buy 2 bags of chips and they might cost me, I don't know, like $4, or I could just go get that thing of pre-cut fruit and snack on that for maybe $7.
For those of us that are privileged and spoiled enough to have like some disposable income and that get fast food or did get fast food frequently, I know I'm not the only person watching this that was eating fast food every day. I know I'm not, right? So if you stop eating like that and you actually spend money at the grocery store, it goes a lot further.
It does.
It goes a lot further.
Well, the average meal now is like $15,
and it's shrinkflation, right? And think about it. Keep the calorie count up so that it is filling at some level. You got to put the worst hydrogenated Gargamel elixir calories. And imagine what's in the food. Just imagine. We don't need to imagine because we looked at it. But are we done with the deep dive?
No, we're done with the deep dive. I would encourage you guys. There's some apps out there too. Look at this.
I'm bald. There's no hair under there. I'm old and ugly.
There's some apps out there that you can use. I think I saw Damon talking about it in the chat. That you can like basically scan a product and it can tell you whether it's good or bad. I think I'm gonna download that.
It's called you got to get Chronometer.
Is that what it is?
Chronometer.
There's a bunch of them.
Chronometer is the one to track your micronutrients. That's the ones that like smart people use.
What's the one? The one I'm talking about is like you go to the grocery store, you like take a picture, and it tells you like simple green or red of like whether you should or shouldn't eat it.
I don't know. I think they have to have updated it to have worked that way by now. I think it would work that way. I like Chronometer.
I think I'm gonna start using something like that. So I mean that's the end of the deep dive. I really hope that you guys enjoyed that. It's been a very long stream. I'm starting to get tired, but
yeah, I'm starting to hit a little bit of a wall. But let's tell them, because we do gray area. When do we do gray area?
We do gray area on Thursdays.
Yes, we do.
We do gray areas on Sundays, like you are seeing us right now. And typically it's at 7:30. We are definitely early because we went on to the AJN network, which is a lot of where probably half of you guys are coming from right now. We're also doing Tuesdays, which we do the New American Journal. I have not been present for a few of those in the last few weeks, but I will be regularly on those every single Tuesday morning. You can catch that from 8 o'clock to 11 a.m. Same as when you were on the American Journal, when we were on the American Journal on InfoWars.
I now have the earbuds stuck in my ear canal.
Really?
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Is it tight?
It's not that deep, but it's a little bit dangerous. And I don't want to push it in any further. Okay, there we go. Got it out. Apologize. Not picking on my ear. I'm not being gross. Sorry, I apologize. Okay, yes, we're here. Here's the thing. in the morning, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Every single morning, I'm live doing New American Journal. But on Tuesday, we do Gray Area X New American Journal, and me and Tim are here in the morning. So people that don't watch in the evening, or maybe you're catching this one, if y'all are looking for a morning show, if y'all remember us hosting on American Journal, we are still doing that. So please, like follow me, follow Tim, follow Gray Area, follow New American Journal. We're trying to build a network here. And there's such cool things, processes, like evolutions to this that we're working on this year and into the next year. It really is, it's a ground floor, right, Tim?
Yes. And we are working on eventually being on the new network as they are able to expand that. But there's just not enough room in there right now to accommodate everybody. But you can still watch this guy live. You were on there on Friday, did a fantastic job.
They have me guest host from time to time when Harrison is gone and stuff like that.
Or maybe your dad is gone.
Yeah, exactly. Are you available? And then I can come in and do it. And I'm always honored and happy to do that on network. And a lot of big interviews coming up soon. So
yes, sir.
I think we're good, man.
Thank you guys. Please. Just if you're the only thing you want to do tonight, just go ahead and subscribe to Gray Area. Please show them what?
Let's show them the YouTube. We got a couple people here we won over. I know we do. This was a good show, especially Deep Dive was very educational. Yeah, look at that. Let's get to 4K. Can we get to 4,000 subscribers on YouTube? That's Gray Area Talks. That's where you want to be, right there.
And you could easily find that. We'll go to X real quick. Show you exactly how you get there, because you're just people who just love on giving. Okay, you're probably here on Rex's account. Literally go here, click Gray Area Talks, go to the link tree, and you will literally find the YouTube logo right here, or you can click it right here. That is exactly how you find the Gray Area. I'm actually working on something really cool right now. I showed Rex.
What are you working on? Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
We're going to be doing, like, my deep dives are going to be more in a YouTube style. I didn't even show you the most current clip. You're going to really like it. Like I went to like full professional graphics, kind of blending in our lifestyle into it. It's going to be great. And you're going to start being able to find those videos on the regular page. It's going to be like, we'll have lives, and then we'll just have actual YouTube style videos where it's got like nice thumbnail, caption, real cadence and things like that, and information. And it's going to be like 15-minute videos you guys can consume, just like if you do like to watch YouTube. So I appreciate you guys. We love you. We're going to head out here. Be easy. Okay. We are on Rumble. I didn't even mean to say we aren't. It's just more people use YouTube. We are on Rumble though.
Yeah,
it's the same area where you can find that link in the link tree.
Here's the thing. You're bronze if you follow 1, you're silver if you follow 2, you're gold if you follow 3, and then you're platinum if you follow us as well.
100%.
So that's how that works. So that's a little break that you want.
I know we got some platinum people in there.
And being platinum is free, by the way. It doesn't cost any money to be platinum.
It does not cost any money.
All right, that's a good show.
Thank you guys.
Take it easy.
Ooh, you're making me feel